Oh my god.
Welcome.
Hello. Oh, fuck, do I need coffee? It's too bad crystal meth is bad for you. It'd probably work better than coffee.
To Lifters Club. Giulia Miserandino is a professional weightlifter. She weighs 156 pounds, which is...
You know what's funny about her? She is apparently not that great of a weightlifter, but because she's pretty, she's getting a lot of, like, sponsorships and shit.
71 kilograms.
Like a
Her
lot of
numbers are
media
quite
coverage.
impressive. As a weightlifter, she has enjoyable techniques to watch. Weightlifters are among the athletes with the best form and technique in most of the exercises they perform. Recently, she squatted 324 pounds for 3 reps with a pause. Her best number in the squat is 1 rep with 400 pounds. This is a very impressive performance for a woman in the high bar squat. Her body weight makes it even more impressive. Her best clean and jerk performance.
Dude, this guy's voice is irritating as fuck. Holy fuck, imagine having that kind of a voice. Everybody'd be telling you to shut up constantly. Oh my god. It's a cat.
To be diverse.
Meet the new Brits.
It is British to be diverse.
It is British to be diverse. No. No, no, no. Black woman who left U.S. for Russia to escape discrimination is beaten by racist neighbors. Yeah. You'd go to Russia to avoid racial discrimination?
React to this, VG.
When I say that I was right about MAGA and the right
I'm gonna, like, put you in a timeout for asking me such a stupid fucking question. Go fuck yourself, dumbass.
wing never being anti-war, never being populist, it was always a fraud, it was always a shtick, and I've been saying it for years. I'm not saying that to gloat, to just be like, oh, I'm right. No, I'm saying it in the hopes.
Okay, this person's fucking brain broken retard, clearly. It is funny that Trump, who said he's the anti-war president, would invade Venezuela. It doesn't look like the U.S. is going to end up being at war with Venezuela. Could potentially turn into something like that, just because of how the military is interwoven with drug trafficking. But, the Venezuelan invasion is not only good for the United States, like, it's just good for the world. It weakens China and Russia, protects America, because China was shipping over missile systems to Venezuela. Venezuela was also training terrorists, including Hezbollah. That's why there's a big Muslim population there right now. So there's literally nothing whatsoever that you could possibly complain about with Trump invading Venezuela. Even Venezuelans are happy because Maduro was turning the country into an unlivable fucking shithole. So there is not one thing wrong with the Venezuelan invasion. Not only does it make sense for America strategically and financially, not only does it help protect the world from tyranny and terrorism, but like it's also just the moral thing to do for the people of Venezuela.
Your voice is also hard to listen to. Regardless, roids actually seem to have marginally improved it. What do you think?
I don't know, maybe. Thanks for the donation, Pen.
Next time they do this, maybe you'll go, wait a minute, I've seen this movie before. These people are full of shit. Because they will do it again. These people have no shame. It was 6 months ago that people like Matt Walsh and Tim Pool were pretending that they were anti-war, that they were anti-interventionist. Here was Matt Walsh saying he's an avowed anti-interventionist. To then today, praising it. Saying, no, this is awesome. The war lasted 90 minutes. You know what this energy is? That energy is very mission accomplished.
These people are just retarded grifters. This anti-interventionalism thing in the right-wing party, by the way, is Russian propaganda. And what's funny is these left-wing progressives, they're getting their propaganda from China. So that's why you see this like weird overlap with the like some of this anti-war, anti-interventionalist bullshit. It's because China and Russia are kind of colluding together, and Russia's infiltrated the Republican Party and the Republican demographic, and China's infiltrated the Democratic Party and the left-wing progressive demographic.
It's very the people that after Saddam Hussein was toppled were like, this isn't going to end well. And they're like, why? We got rid of Saddam Hussein. Yeah, they said the same thing about Gaddafi. Acting like this.
This is like fucking retarded. If you're gonna fucking say, oh, things went bad one time, let's never under any circumstances do that ever again. I guess America shouldn't have intervened in World War II because look how bad World War I was. Like, it's fucking stupid.
This is the end? That is just laughable. But then again, this is neocon shit. This is what...
Okay, I can't listen to this stupid bitch anymore. Ugh. TikTok is turning everyone stupid. Especially, left-wing women.
A black woman who moved from the U.S. to Russia to escape discrimination and racism revealed on social media that the entire plan backfired on her in a disturbing way. Francine Villa was born in Russia.
She's a dumb bitch.
But moved to the U.S. with her family when she was a kid. In a heartbreaking video, Francine claims that both she and her baby were brutally attacked by racist neighbors in Moscow. She detailed the alleged assault on Instagram. Now, the fact that the attack occurred in her homeland is an extra painful blow. Villa had previously spoken about her move in the 2020 documentary Back in the USSR, which aired on the Russian state media channel RT. Villa said that her great-grandfather George Tynes, who hails from Virginia, worked as an agriculturalist after moving to the Soviet Union in the 1930s. Now, much of her family still...
This woman's entire family seems fucking retarded. I don't take any pre-workout supplements. I do have energy drinks, and I do drink coffee or black tea occasionally. But I don't take pre-workout supplements. Can you stop trying to eat out of my coffee mug? No. No. This cat can be a real fucking jackass. I don't know why he just non-stop needs to eat. Like, what the fuck? Yes, that's right. Step on my keyboard. That's right. Step on my keyboard. That's good. Thank you.
Why are so many of these SJWs attacking Trump for invading Venezuela so much?
It's because they're just ingesting Chinese propaganda. It's the same reason why Republicans are against intervention in Ukraine, against Russia. They're just consuming Russian propaganda. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
That's what everyone say about Iraq. Iraqis were celebrating with Saddam's capture, and left the US in charge. Then Iraq became 100 times worse than what it was before. History is repeating with Venezuela. It's good for Venezuelans until we left it in ruins.
Oh my god. Fucking stupid.
Also agreed VG TikTok is making us dumber. I worry for the future of our species, if we have a future, that is.
Yeah, it is. I'm really... I'm really getting fed up with listening to so many stupid people constantly. Fucking Trump wouldn't ban TikTok. I don't know why the Canadian government hasn't banned TikTok. Like, fuck me, dude. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
CTV's Rachel Aiello picks up on all of that, especially the effect on Canada's oil industry. Rachel.
Sandy, global oil prices surged today, but Canadian energy stocks were down. An example of the sense of instability the U.S. invasion of Venezuela has caused. Canadian oil stocks slid today as the energy market absorbed the potential implications of U.S. President Donald Trump tapping Venezuelan oil reserves.
What this says is Trump views oil as super important, which I think as Canadians we should recognize. We have a big oil industry and very big reserves, but it also says that we got to be very careful.
Ex-leader Nicolas Maduro's weekend capture and Trump musing of more military action is sparking international concern.
It's by no means all about the oil. It's about someone defying an American president. That's a pretty powerful example for those who are left.
Canada is no stranger to Trump's annexation.
Oh, other countries like Russia that a black woman moved to are bad. I thought only America sucked. This shocks me.
I'm assuming you're being ironic. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Threats. And Prime Minister Mark Carney's response so far has been careful. But the president's former national...
I seriously fucking doubt Trump's gonna annex Canada. The Maduro thing is not even remotely close to Canada. Like, it's... I don't know why you'd say, oh, he did it to Maduro, he could do it to Canada. Like, that's just fucking retarded.
I need to intervene and say that it is wrong to judge the attack on Venezuela by what the US did in Iraq, etc. Trump did well, rooting out communism and aggressive narcos. It takes a few brain cells to realize Iraq and Venezuela are not the same thing.
Yeah. Dude, I don't even engage with these fuckwits anymore. Can't be fucked. How stupid everybody is. Thanks for the donation, Luigi.
Security advisor says he doesn't think this country is at risk.
I think any kind of move against Greenland or even more far-fetched against Canada would be the end of the NATO alliance. It would do incalculable damage, not just to the United States, but to the entire Western world.
Carney spoke to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado on Sunday, pledging Canada's support for a peaceful, negotiated, and Venezuelan-led transition process. Critics in this country say Trump's actions are exactly why Canada increasing its economic, military, and diplomatic independence is essential.
Internally, I think this boosts the obligation for Canada to get very serious.
Well, it's too bad the liberals are in power. They're just going to make everybody more poor. So, yeah, that won't work out.
Diverse.
Meet the new Brits. Because what's more quintessentially British than screaming out Islamic phrases on a bus while pestering people for money?
This person seems like an unhinged wacko.
Police ended up paying a visit to his taxpayer-funded migrant HMO, with the new Brit treating the situation with the utmost seriousness.
Hi. How are you?
Congratulations. You're earned yourself a nice timeout.
Come this please. Hello, بيهم هلا.
Say that again, sorry.
Yes, come. Hello, بيهم. Good. How are you? This one.
Whose bedroom
Yes,
is
can
this?
check. Oh, this one.
Whose bedroom is
Yes.
this? Is this your bedroom?
Yes, or this one room.
All right, what is going on, everybody? As you guys know, I've been wanting to start up a little podcast, and who better to join me than, I don't even know what to describe you as, but one of the legends of looks maxing. We have Androgenic. Look at him right here. He's just mogging. I'm just getting mogged to oblivion right now, but he's a very interesting guy because it really seems like he's come, onto the scene out of nowhere in a time where looks maxing the black pill is really going mainstream. Why don't you introduce yourself, Mr. Androgenic?
Yeah, so guys, my name's Androgenic, also known as Looks by some, because I used to be a pretty prominent figure on the Looks Max forum. I signed up in 2018. I'm somewhat of an OG, but I didn't really tap into creating a platform out of Looks Max until earlier this year, and I'm pretty much known for having a really impressive transformation. I used to be really fucking underdeveloped, fucking looking like a toddler, fucking goblin, scrawny as fuck. And now, I don't know, you can look at me, I think I've done pretty well. And so I've been focused on looks maxing, but nowadays I'm into the overall biohacking thing, just optimizing yourself as a human as a whole. So looks, money, status, brain is a huge one, health, longevity, youth, pretty much the whole package.
Right, so you're just interested in biohacking. This is something I've come to become interested in, and I feel like men in general have an affinity towards building things, right? So whether that's in a video game, they want to level up their character. It's kind of the same thing.
At 122. Their censoring square seems to be malfunctioning, making some frames visible when playing slow speed.
We're coming into inner city limits now.
Is that a woman? Don't know if that's hair or just the shirt.
I keep you updated. He ain't getting too far. Alright, coming up on 520. He's about to run the red light. Just ran the red light. Clear. Street. Alright, he just laid it down, 1050. He just got ejected, 1050. Go ahead and get him.
Probably a stupid idea to continue the pursuit. I can't watch the head thing on stream. See if the censor bar doesn't really work too well. Yeah. There was a tiny little section where you could see the dead body. Well, that probably wasn't worth running from the police. Thanks for the donation, N.
You know, VG, that song by Don Henley was right. This generation truly is the end of the innocence.
No, it's the end of anything to do with smart. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Which is why I think a lot of guys are drawn to it. However, there are risks with biohacking. Obviously, you're taking potentially substances that can affect hormones. You know, maybe it could cross the blood-brain barrier, affect your brain, things of that nature. I know for myself, I've experimented with performance-enhancing drugs.
Oh my god.
Definitely not for looks maxing, but for bodybuilding. I was trying to get big as fuck. I am not big as fuck anymore, but I used to be. And I can tell you firsthand, when I used those androgens, it really affected my brain. Definitely affected how I look to an extent. And so it's really controversial because there are...
I love when white women who couldn't point to Venezuelan on a map 2 months ago begin to lecture me with bird hands.
Yeah, again, it's just TikTok, brain rot, horse shit. They really need to ban TikTok. Like, holy fuck, it's horrendous. Thanks for the donation, though, Pino.
For people who can use the substances to improve or whatever, reach their goals, and then there's a lot of people that fuck themselves up. But let me ask you this. When did you begin to make your transformation? You said 2018, but how old were you?
So I started in late 2019, and I was nearly 19 at the time.
So how old are you now?
24.
You're 24. Okay. Yeah. So when you started, did you right away go into taking PEDs, or you kind of were soft maxing at first?
So when I first started, I was 18 and a half, and I realized, like, fuck, I'm scrawny, I need to do something about this. So I started researching working out. I was just doing like push-ups at home. Yeah, within a month, my friend brought up, like...
For a guy like Connor with decent genetics, he is very weak. He trains like a bitch, like very weak, lol.
I've never really seen him train. I know he's smaller than he was before because he's not hitting the peds as hard. And he's also... whatchamacall. He also just hasn't been taking training as seriously. Looks like he was gonna do some like pro wrestling thing. It'd be surprising if he was like actually like weak. Why are some of these videos not auto-playing? That's fucking annoying. Does he do a workout at?
Hey, we finna turn up, crank up.
Oh god.
Day 2 of the same regime being in power of Venezuela. Good job doing nothing, Trump.
I'm just not going to engage with any of you retards anymore.
This motherfucker.
Really, TikTok is making people that stupid, my god, and they say that television rots your brain.
Yeah, no, it's TikTok. No one could have foreseen how bad TikTok is. Thanks for the donation, though, Dodo.
Had to fly him out, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get the breakfast of the gods. You're gonna get your first ever Timbit. Honestly, this is my favorite place to eat in Canada. It's like kind of
I wish Timbits were vegan. Timbits were good.
like fast food kind of, but like breakfasty kind of thing. And after that, we're gonna go to Pure Muscle Fitness, probably the best gym in Canada, potentially the best bodybuilding gyms in the world. We've took him to a bunch of cool gyms. One, Boston Creek, 20 Timbits.
I wonder if Shansbra is ever going to not be a like complete retard anymore and just get back into training.
All right, Tim Hortons final rating. What do you give it?
Like 8.5.
8.5. Oh yeah, wash it down. This is pure diabetes.
Fucking love it.
Honey dip. Honey dip. Yep.
This is honey.
It's pretty calm, man.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, try this.
That's good.
Yeah, I know. Yo, this is my favorite Timbit. No one gives these any love, bro.
What was that one? I don't really fuck with food, but I'll try it.
No.
I don't like that.
All right, so we just drove an hour. We're at Pure Muscle and Fitness. Is this a gym you're like aware of? Like, do you know about the gym?
Yeah, I know.
Let's run this workout. What are we looking at first here?
Lat pull down? You want to do lat pull down?
You want to do lat pull? Okay, yeah. Stop.
Oh my god. Music is so bad. Ah, there's Jeff Nippard.
No, you get it for free, bro. This guy helped me in the lifting journey. You actually fuck with it?
Oh yeah.
Damn, bro. Appreciate it.
And you don't have to pay me after for saying that or anything.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great, bro. Seen you around, but then I'm like, I don't want to like fucking mess up your flow when you're like training or whatever. All right, so Mr. Nippard, I'm not even kidding. I mean, it's on fucking film. He's like, damn, I really like this hoodie. So I got some stuff in my car for him, and yeah, we're gonna give him some RP. So code Jeff Nippard, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. All right, so we got some retaliation projects for the man. My other homie Mark's in there. He's a big body. We'll get him some drip too. But yeah, these are all large. Not sure how they're gonna fit him. I hope that zip up is our one of our best sellers, and then this is our third best selling hoodie. So. Was that the fucking stack?
Puerto Rican Grimes comes here, so I have to show him up.
Summer, you want to do that one?
Unless you want to do like one more pulling.
I can't hear you. Toilet. What are you thinking?
The gym's really good.
Yeah?
Like when I went
this or Alpha Land?
So when I went and took a trip.
What did you think of the new Predator movie, Predator: Badlands?
I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it, but I haven't seen it yet. Apparently it's pretty decent. Haven't heard really too many negative things. Thanks for the donation, Diet of Vegan Pizza.
What you say are more annoying and dumb pro-Iran or pro-Venezuela or pro-Gaza debates? Also.
Well, they're all the same. It's all the same people. UK has long supported a transition of power in Venezuela. We regard Maduro as an illegitimate president, and we shed no tears. Reiterated my support for international law. The UK government will discuss the evolving situation. Safe, peaceful transition to a legitimate government. White women's glaring susceptibility to communism needs to be addressed in this country. Yeah, really does. Like, step one is ban TikTok. Mom Donnie's tenant director.
I think the reality is that for centuries we've really treated property as an individualized good and not a collective good, and we are going to transitioning to treating it as a collective good and towards a model of shared equity will require that we think about it differently.
This woman's such a dumb bitch.
And it will mean that families, especially white families, but some POC families who are homeowners as well, are going to have a different relationship to property than.
What an insane, retarded fucking person. And I love how this person's working with fucking Mom Donnie. Of course she is. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Shit here, and the disabled bathrooms. The disabled bathroom was like way better than like blue culture. Fuck the zoo culture bathroom, bro. Bradley Martin, fix your fucking gym, bro. How are the disabled people supposed to poo, bro? Come on now. Like, what do you? He's like, here. Yeah. Yo, Shan, let's test your gym riz.
I'd be surprised if Connor Sinann's like actually weak. He does look pretty jacked and like a big dude. Andrew Skittles and Nutillerism. I love how Androgenic, someone with a brain, did a tiny bit of research on steroids at 18, realized the sides are mostly overblown, totally manageable. Natty Coper's on Suicide Watch. Yeah, it's... I think the day will come soon where literally nobody gives two fucks about being natty. Thanks for the donation, Andrew Skittles.
Hey, you know, skip.
Holy fuck.
How you feeling now?
I'm fucked. Because that's unfair?
Yeah, I think there was some good stuff that was happening. If I were to go like one by one, for you, I think the best thing that you had is honestly like you can wrestle a little bit. You had a good intuition in wrestling from standing. I like that, and your focus was really good. When we were doing techniques, you're actually like fucking trying the moves, and you figured it out pretty well, you know. And he's fucking recovering from a surgery and did pretty damn well. Like,
this dude's fucking gigantic. Apparently he's 320 pounds.
Tiger Woods? Isn't he?
Yeah, 6'7".
He's the best golfer. He's black.
I thought he was skinny. I just got on steroids, and I'm like, well, dude, don't steroids like, I don't know, make your heart explode and like shrink your dick or some shit? But I was never one to like criticize him without researching. So I was like, fuck it, I'll look into this shit. And then day by day, I was like, wait, this stuff's kind of legit. What the fuck? And several months later, I started like MK677 and SARMs, and a few months later, that's when I started test.
Okay. And so how did you find the SARM cycle?
Honestly, I think I came across it on LooksMax, and I was looking into like Rad 140 and OGD, and I kind of used them as a gateway into test because I knew that they suppressed test, and I was like, well, I'm scared of pinning because it hurts. So what I'll do is I'll use SARMs beforehand until I'm suppressed, so then mentally I'll be forced to inject test.
Okay, that's an interesting way to do it. Okay, so when you first started taking testosterone, when was it that you felt the true effects?
I would say about 4 weeks in. That's when I started noticing like big strength gains, really good pumps, like very fast size gains, glycogen retention.
I noticed a difference day 1, and by like day 3 or 4, I really noticed it. Dodo donates $2. Why is Maduro wishing Happy New Year to people? He's weird.
I'm here outside the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan. I was just in the courtroom where ousted Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro was arraigned on narco-terrorism charges. He said he was innocent and pleaded not guilty. It was an unusual arraignment because typically defendants are quiet. They sit at the defense table, maybe they say they're not guilty. But Maduro, he walked into the courtroom and wished folks there Happy New Year 3 times. He shook some hands and sat down at the defense table. When it was time to enter
He's a really weird guy. It just seems like he's strange.
a plea, he stood up and had a whole speech. He said he was still the president of Venezuela, that he was innocent. He said, "Soy inocente," and that he wasn't guilty of these charges. He said he was a prisoner of war who had been kidnapped from his home in Caracas. The judge gently told him to sit down and said that there'd be a time and a place for these arguments. His wife was there too. She had sustained visible injuries from what her lawyer said was her capture, and she also entered a plea of not guilty. The judge set the next hearing date for March 17.
Yeah, Maduro just seems like a weird guy.
Oh no, Jeffrey's about to get blackpilled!
Nope. A bit old but insightful given it's right before the protest started.
After Trump's withdrawal from the Iran nuclear deal in 2018, the Iranian economy fared surprisingly well. Trade with China helped soften the impact of sanctions, and the Iranian economy grew at a pretty healthy rate between 2021 and 2024. However, in recent months, the tide has suddenly turned. A deep recession looms, and inflation has been so bad for so long that last month, Iran announced it would be slashing 4 zeros off its national currency, which fell to an all-time low last week. So in this video, we're going to look at how Iran's economy is quietly collapsing, and how this might be affecting the regime's strategic calculus. Iran has a GDP of about $400 billion, but its oil and gas reserves are roughly equivalent to that of Saudi Arabia, a commodity-based economy with a GDP of about $1 trillion, while its population is about as large and well-educated as Turkey, a non-commodity economy with a GDP of about $1.1 trillion. Iran's economic underperformance is often chalked down to the fact that it's been a theocracy since the 1979 revolution.
Oh my god, that is driving me fucking insane. Warp donating tillers. Who do you respect most in the world? Who do you hate the most? Imagine there's actually a person whom you hate the most. Yeah, you'd be an asshole. Thanks for the donation, Warped. Cam donating tillers, baguette. Was worried that was going to be porn. Sea lions are based. Thanks for the donation, Cam.
And religious fundamentalists aren't generally great at economic stewardship. But Iran's economic underperformance actually precedes the 1979 revolution, and there are quite a few continuities between the economic policies of the pre- and post-revolutionary regimes. So why has Iran's economy reliably underperformed? Well, there are 2 related reasons. The first is Dutch disease. For context, Dutch disease is an economic phenomenon whereby an export boom in some commodity leads to an appreciation of your national currency, making your other exports and industries less competitive. This leads to an unbalanced economy that can be precariously dependent on that particular commodity, and when the price of that commodity falls, it can bring the entire economy down with it. This is exactly what's happened to Iran, which very much relies on oil and gas exports. For context, Iran has some of the world's largest oil and gas reserves. According to data from BP, its proven oil reserves come to about 160 billion barrels, the 4th largest in the world behind only Venezuela, Saudi Arabia and Canada, and about 10% of the global total, while its proven gas reserves come to 32,000 cubic kilometers, the second largest in the world behind Russia and about 15% of the global total. Unfortunately for Iran, oil and gas have indeed crowded out its other industries and usually account for between 50 and 80% of all exports in any given year.
So now SJWs like that woman who's working with Mom Donnie are now admitting that they hate white people by saying whites will most likely be impacted. I knew it. SJWs do hate white people after all.
Yeah, they're really, really fucking stupid. I don't know how anybody takes those people seriously. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Year, and between 25 and 50% of all government revenues. This dependence has also left the Iranian economy at the mercy of global oil markets. As you can see, there's a pretty neat correlation between global oil prices and Iran's GDP per capita. So that's the first issue, Dutch disease. The second related issue is that oil and gas revenues have inflated Iran's bloated public sector, which essentially spends its time redistributing these revenues. Successive Iranian governments have tried to rebalance Iran's economy away from the public sector towards the private sector, but to little avail. Many of Iran's other industries continue to depend on
Yeah, it's corruption, right? So they're just using it to enrich, elite class.
Efficient oil-funded subsidies, and widespread corruption in the public sector makes it hard for private businesses to succeed. So you get the idea. The Iranian economy has never quite lived up to its potential, both because of Dutch disease and its bloated public sector. Things got particularly bad in 2018, when Trump withdrew from the Iran nuclear deal and imposed massive sanctions as part of what he called his maximum pressure campaign. Iran's oil exports and revenues duly shrank, pushing the entire economy into a 2-year recession in 2018 and 2019. However, after the pandemic, the Iranian economy did surprisingly well, with growth averaging about 5% between 2021 and 2024. Iran was helped here by China, which has continued to buy discounted Iranian oil despite escalating Western sanctions, and now accounts.
Get the fuck out of here. Can't be fucked with you loser retards.
For something like 90% of Iran's oil exports. This is the main reason that Iran's oil exports have surged in recent years, tripling from approximately 400,000 barrels per day during the height of the Trump administration's maximum pressure campaign to around 1.5 million barrels a day in 2024. However, in the past couple of months, the Iranian economy has suddenly started to look precariously close to collapse. A combination of war and sanctions have pushed the country into recession, with the World Bank forecasting a contraction of 1.7% in 2025 and then 2.8% in 2020.
Sarah Sully, why do these SJWs hate white people so much? VG don't that woman realizes that since she is white she will most likely be impacted too.
It's just Chinese and Russian propaganda to get, white people to hate themselves. It's fucking retarded. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
26. As always, this is in large part because oil exports and revenues are now falling, with exports to China slipping from about 1.5 million barrels per day to more like 1.2 million barrels. This is because of both fresh US sanctions on Chinese importers and new UN sanctions imposed as part of the so-called snapback mechanism, which France, Germany and the UK triggered in late September. For context, the snapback mechanism is a sort of emergency brake built into the original 2015 nuclear deal that allows for the swift reimposition of all UN sanctions if Iran was deemed to have violated its nuclear commitments. Increased sanctions risk has also meant that Iran has had to sell its oil at a steeper discount than usual, with the discount widening to more than $8 a barrel in December, compared to about $6 a barrel in September and around $3 in March. This all comes on top of falling global oil prices, and effectively means that the price Iran can charge for a barrel of oil has fallen from about $70 in March to more like $50 today. Inflation has also skyrocketed. According to official data, year-on-year inflation was running at 48.6% in October, up from 31.8% at the beginning of
That is actually fucking crazy.
this year, and the highest since early 2023. Unofficial estimates put the true inflation rate even higher, between 50 and 70%. Persistent inflation means that, in the past 7 years or so, the price of essential goods has risen by more than 1,000%, which is one of the reasons that last month Iran announced a plan to remove 4 zeros from its national currency, the rial. This has all been exacerbated by massive capital flight, as nervous Iranians rush to move their wealth out of the country. The most recent report by Iran's central bank estimates capital flight to be something like $9 billion in the second quarter of this year, the highest outflow ever recorded. This has also put renewed pressure on the rial, which fell to an all-time low of 1.2 million rial against the US dollar last week. You get the idea. Iran's economy is now teetering on the brink of a severe recession, while simultaneously struggling with destabilizing inflation. This might explain why the regime has recently signalled a renewed openness to negotiations with the US over its nuclear program, presumably in the hope of sanctions relief. But
too late for that.
Why do the Chinese hate whites so much? What did whites ever do to them?
Yes. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
I'm low IQ, bad at research and can't determine who to trust. Can I get advice on running test from you? I'm running 160 milligrams and plan to run for life, but feelings have changed and I want to blast. Can I blast for a year then drop back dose non-trivially?
Watch, Vigor Steve, Dr. Todd Lee, Kurt Havens, and there's one other that I think I'm forgetting. Those are good resources for steroids, and if you have any questions, you can just message me on Instagram. Thanks for the donation, Pino. And I don't know what you mean by what you're asking me. The doses of steroids you can run and for how long entirely depends on just how you respond to them and what side effects you may or may not have. Thanks for the donation, Pino.
Etc. And then, within like 2 or 3 months, I looked pretty noticeably bigger, actually, like somewhat of a decent physique.
Yeah. Sorry, I was about to cut you off, but I got to make sure I don't do that because the fucking comments are always like, oh, you're cutting people off. I don't mean to. I'm just really excited, okay? So I'm not trying to be rude, but I was wondering, though, because like a lot of these looks maxers are using testosterone for their face, and I personally think after coming off testosterone, I look better when I'm not on it. So maybe it's a looks min. But what's your theory around the facial development that testosterone provides you? Because I really have a hard time understanding how it grows your bones or stuff like that. That's what some people are saying. I really don't think it does that. It could masculinize you a bit, but what was it like for you?
Well, I definitely think that test masculinizes the face because, like, for example, the mandible, so the jawbone actually has like a much higher density of androgen receptors. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing to go off. It's also denser in IGF-1 receptors. But I actually remember in late 2019, like shortly after I found out about steroids, because I looked really underdeveloped. I had like a tiny jaw and stuff. And I remember making a thread on the steroid subreddit saying like, I look really underdeveloped. I'm 18. Like, should I do this to like grow my frame and face? And all the comments were like, no, you're fucking retarded. And I was like, you know what, fuck these guys. I'm going to be a guinea pig and try it anyway. But the thing is, I always combine test with bone smashing. And I'm like, I'm not even meaning about that. So I can't exactly pinpoint how much was the test, how much was the MK, how much was the bone smashing, but I know the synergy of all of them like did pretty substantially change my face over time.
It's definitely possible, but I also look at people like Chris Bumstead, right, who have used massive amounts of steroids, but it's not like their face really changed. Like, he looks older now, but when he was 19, he looked the fucking same, right? So I don't know, and that's apparently when he started using steroids. So do you think a lot of that masculinization and development could have been due to the fact that you were actually underdeveloped at that point in time?
100%. That is definitely a factor.
Okay.
Like, I was a late bloomer, and in general, if you're a late bloomer, you're going to get more gains. Your you have a bigger window for like really substantial facial gains to take place. So that is definitely a factor, but you can only grow so many bones. Like Sebum already has like good bone structure. He always did. And so you'd be hopeful not to become like a completely overgrown ogre in his case, in which case I suppose he hasn't. But you do see bodybuilders that seem to have like pretty fucking big facial bones. So it does seem like it's probably doing something.
And so how far have you gone with the steroids? Have you taken tren? Have you done massive amounts? I've personally experimented with like high doses of testosterone myself. I've never really done like a crazy cycle, like 1,000 tren or anything like that, but I've definitely used my fair share. And so I was wondering what the extent was with you.
Well, I've pretty much mainly stuck to test. Like I've tried the orals and low doses pre-workout, most of them. And I tried Nandrolone briefly, and I got brutalized with acne.
Oh yeah.
I tried tren once in a microdose last year for a cut, just because of the anti-glucocorticoid effects. Like make it really good for a cut, really good for just maintaining muscle in a steep deficit. But overall, I would say 95% of it's just been tests.
Right. And have you mixed that with growth hormone as well?
I never took GH because back in like when my transformation was happening at its peak rate, I was poor, didn't really know how to source shit, so I just stuck with MK. But like the MK plus test energy does boost IGF-1 quite a fair bit.
Really?
Androgens and also estradiol, they increase hepatic conversion from GH into IGF-1 in the liver, and MK as is standalone at a decent dose increases IGF-1 by like 50%. So you're getting even a further boost when you add tests.
Yeah, I just question that because a lot of the time in practical application, like even though something might go up or down, it's not expressed in the body how it would look like on paper. And a lot of bodybuilders have reported that, MK does nothing for them as far as their IGF, they even test for it. And it's like, the same. Yeah, that's interesting. So no GH for you. And yeah, you're right. It's really expensive. I actually have used real growth hormone, and I can say that shit is fucking rocks. Like that was the best I ever looked. I haven't looked that good. I think last time I used it was like 2 years ago. That was the best I ever looked. People thought I was on tren. I was on all this stuff. No, I was just on HGH and testosterone and a bit of Anavar. It's a great fucking cycle. But something I wanted to ask you is you're quite tall. I don't know how tall you are. You look like maybe 6'4", 6'5". Am I correct in saying that? Somewhere around there?
Yeah, 6'5".
Okay, 6'5". And so did you actually get any height? Because a lot of people on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, they're looking at these looks matches like, if I do testosterone, I'm going to grow. I feel like for most people, it's probably not going to work. But how was that for you? Or were you already really tall?
Well, I was a late bloomer with height. So at the beginning of high school, I was literally below average height in my class, including the girls in grade 8. But then I was also like, I was as big as a child, especially like before 10. And I shot up like pretty hard when I was like 17. And I ended up about 6'2.5" at 18, and then just slowly climbed as a late bloomer.
Right. So that had nothing to do with like the androgens.
I would say minimally, really, especially since I didn't even have a working AI. So it wasn't necessarily even beneficial for height overall. So, I mean, and that's a mistake that I would say if I could go back, I would do it differently. I would use a non-aromatizing androgen if I still figured I might be in the growth phase.
Repeat that. Use a non-aromatizing androgen, like using an AI so your bones don't fuse.
Well, the thing with an AI is that it's risky because you miss one day, you're fucking fused, and a lot of AI is a bug. I literally never got a real AI until like a month ago, like in my entire life. So I would say it's a better option to just take an androgen that doesn't aromatize, like a high dose of masterone or something.
Yeah, but and that would be for looks maxing, not necessarily for like muscle growth. Because if you're to just take masterone solo, you wouldn't really gain that much size.
100%. I'm just speaking in the context of if your growth plates aren't fused and you're using it for both like muscle, bite, face, frame, etc.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. But we need to grow some like kids or something and give them steroids so we can all be tall looks max chads, I think.
Yeah, well, there are studies on Anavar increasing growth velocity, and it kind of makes sense because I guess probably the collagen synthesis has something to do with it, but most of all,
I thought that study was about your dick getting bigger.
I might be talking about different studies because there's one on height velocity.
Yeah, I was dick maxing, you were looks maxing. That's what it was.
I mean, I don't know. Am I not dick maxing as well?
No, that's that's the fucking, that's what we got to gatekeep that, man. We don't want to.
Have you seen any of Androgenic's Kickstream clips? No.
Nah, but that is a part of it, like the black pill, is it not? That like the fucking PE shit.
For sure.
Yeah. So you lived, life in high school as a late bloomer, and like you said, you were underdeveloped according to you. Then you started to grow a little bit around 17, and 18, 19, you kind of found your way into looks maxing. So how was the difference in treatment between when you were growing up to after your ascension?
Well, it was absurd, especially just within 2020, because at the beginning of 2020, I was a fucking sporty rat. And by the end of 2020, I actually looked pretty good. I was fucking tan, decently masculine, decent physique, especially adults. And that's where I saw the biggest improvement in treatment, because I went from basically commanding zero respect, being treated like pretty poorly, to logging the vast majority of men by the end of the year and getting treated accordingly.
Sorry, I had a fucking energy drink. What do you mean by mogging the vast majority of men? Like you'd go beside them and just like look better than them, and then people would like see that?
I'm not saying that I'd literally just go next to them and be like, but, you know, I'd enter some kind of situation at like a party or whatever kind of social interaction, and people would obviously sense that I have a better presence than most guys.
And so has that really changed from then to now? Because now you're even more mog, I would assume.
100%. I would say it definitely kept rising steeply from 2020 to 2021 to 2022. And since then, it's been slower of a rise, but definitely still noticeable year by year.
And so what would the first thing you would say to people if they want to get that incremental improvement?
Bath salt convention.
Religious people are dumb as fuck, dude. Like, just the fact that most people believe in God just proves that the majority of people are fucking retarded. Oh. Little baby rabbit. Oh. She's like a little jelly bean. Oh, baby rabbits are so cute. What a nice baby rabbit. I like rabbits. Thanks for the donation, SV.
Improvement in their looks. Like, what's the first thing that they should start with the most ROI?
I mean, the highest ROI is going to depend on your baseline, but if you're anyone like me and you're like scrawny and undeveloped, nothing beats androgens, realistically, in my opinion.
So no gym, just steroids.
Oh, no, obviously the gym as well. I go to the gym every day. That's kind of like a given. Like these idiots that happily take androgens and don't go to the gym, they're leaving a lot on the table.
Right.
But if I were to choose between the two, I would probably pick take the androgens and don't train.
Wow.
If you like look really undeveloped and you're like that's my opinion, because you still pack on muscle, right? You still pack on equal muscle to go into the gym. At least in the early stages, I would never fucking skip out on the gym and be blasting steroids. But if I had to choose one, I'd go with the steroids.
This actually wasn't even what I was going to ask you. I was planning on asking you, but I'm curious, like, are you strong in the gym or do you lift like mainly for aesthetics? Because like at 6'5" with your frame, I'm really not sure how much you weigh, but I would assume you're actually like pretty competent in the gym, because most guys who looks max, they can't move any weight in the gym. They might have a decent physique, but they literally can't even bench 2 plates.
That's pretty absurd. Yeah, I would say I'm pretty strong. Like I've trained in pretty low rep range and like consistently for like 6 years now. I'm pretty strong, but it depends on muscle group as well. Like I'm very strong on like.
And yet Christians claim to be wiser than anyone else, especially non-believers.
Yeah, they're just fucking stupid. It's Santa Claus for adults. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Upper back movements.
Nice.
Decent strong, bicep and tricep, surprising, because my arms are small. My chest is like kind of weak. Even my front delts are kind of weak, even though my delts are like a huge strong point.
How did it come to getting girls with the Ascension, and kind of describe the difference in treatment between, like, specifically, like, were you going on dates easier? Were you able to talk to women a different sort of way? What was going on there?
I mean, the first time I ever got shown interest from a woman was when I was like 19 years old. Like in my entire life. And so when we went throughout 2020, it went from like absolutely nothing to like a decent amount of attention. Like, I don't know, a couple of girls would approach me if I went out, maybe like 1 or 2 for the night. And Then in 2021, I was basically like a complete hermit. And so I got like no women throughout 2021 up until I got a girlfriend later that year. And 2022, kind of similar deal. 2023, I got a lot. 2024, I got a lot. This year, I get like a crazy amount, but to be honest, I'm not like into slaying anymore. It doesn't really do anything for me, like wise.
Like specifically, the reason I asked was just because I think a big reason people are looks maxing is because the dating economy is fucked, and they think they have to look a certain way to get respect from women. And I do think I genuinely feel this way. An ugly guy is like invisible to women. Okay. Especially if he doesn't have any money or really anything to offer. I think this archetype of person is the most disrespected person on the planet, because a fat bitch, someone will fuck her. Someone will like look at that fucking fat ugly troglodyte and be like, you know what, I love you. But put a man in that position, nothing.
I've definitely seen some women who, I don't know if you can call them invisible, because they still get attention, just not the good kind of attention. Like, everyone's fucking grossed out by them. So you can definitely be ugly enough as a woman where you get absolutely no attention. But you have to be more than just fat. Like, you have to be just fucking hideous.
And they also say you have to believe in God and the Bible, or else he sends you to hell when you die.
Yes, they do say that. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Nothing. No respect, no love, not even pity. So I always tell guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get, your money up. You got to get develop some sort of fucking talent so you can, be interesting or whatever. And then also your looks. I put looks like lower on the hierarchy than people think, but I also never really struggled with girls or anything. So I don't know if that's just like a lucky thing. I live in Toronto, so it's like really easy to get girls here.
100% hypergamy 101, especially when it comes to just like short-term hookups. It's gonna be way easier for girls, and it all kind of comes back to the concept of pregnancy. Like, women have to be selective, because if they fuck a guy, especially back in the day, instant pregnancy, so they're gonna like be very mate selective, whereas a guy can just impregnate 100 women and be chill and fuck off. Back in the caveman days. So it makes sense. For a relationship, it's still skewed towards the women, but it's a little bit more even. I would say that. But 100% for hookups, women have like the biggest advantage ever.
I mean, what's the fucking thing they always say? Men control access to relationships, women control access to sex. So yeah, I think it's kind of fucked though when you think about it. Like, all we really do with our whole entire life is to set ourselves up to be better sexual partners. Like, everything we do, all this success, all this money, whatever we're doing, all the looks maxing, when you boil it down, it's really just so we can fuck.
I am only really interested in motorcycles and video games. Everything I do is for motorcycles and video games.
Fuck better and fuck hotter girls. You know what I mean? Fuck the people we want. That's really what it comes down to. It's really crazy, because what happens when you look at all the most powerful people with all the fucking options in the world? They become sexual deviants. They get so much fucking pussy, they don't even know what to do. They start fucking 10-year-olds and shit. It's crazy. Probably we'll cut that out because I don't want to get fucking banned. But you know what I mean? It's just like, that's really what it comes down to. So I think like the whole looks maxing craze, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it really comes down to it's a reflection of how the sexual marketplace has shifted, right? Because think about it, before,
by being serious and genuine, and it puts off women. They enjoy being lied to. Well, women are just fucking stupid and delusional. It's not that they enjoy being lied to, it's that they want to believe the lie. So they just want dudes who will validate however they feel. And anytime you're honest with a woman and you don't validate their feelings, they just get pissed off, and then they'll find a guy who will validate how they feel, and then the relationship won't work out, because obviously anybody who validates how a woman feels is lying to them, because they believe in stupid, nonsensical shit. So they just end up dating dudes who are highly manipulative, use them, and cheat on them, and whatever. And then they complain, oh my god, I can't believe he lied to me, I can't believe he cheated on me. And then like they literally go out of their way to select those types of men. So They're just fucking silly people. I can't be fucked anymore.
Or they always say men went to war. Well, now our wars are being fought by fucking attack drones. So we're not going to war. We, in general, unless you live in certain parts of the world, we don't have to, you know, fight for our food or whatever. There's fucking Uber Eats. And even if you are broke, what do you have? You have one of these things. Even on your shitty fucking Samsung that costed $600, you'll still be entertained. Like, worst case. So we live in this like luxury poverty. We don't have that much to worry about. So this is what people are worrying about now. And I think it's really interesting. What is something that people perceive about the looks maxing community, and maybe they dog on it and it's unfair? What's the most common misconception about the looks maxing community?
Look, the thing is, it definitely depends, because someone like me has shifted my beliefs over time compared to like the ideologies that I used to have like back in 2019, 2020. They've definitely shifted over time as I've gained more real world experience. And like a lot of black people and looks maxes are stupid and insufferable, right? For example, Slav has pretty similar beliefs to me, and I think he is like pretty switched on in most regards. But a lot of the just like the little kids who are a part of the black looks maxing sphere, they don't really have a clue how the world works at all. But if you're talking about people who are like the faces of looks maxing, I would say the biggest one is an overestimation of how insecure we are.
And yet they have the nerve to complain about toxic masculinity.
Yeah. Women are just silly, dude. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Axel Bertil Dahlstrom getting arrested.
I'm being honest with you, dude. This is gonna go a lot easier if you're honest. And I will, yeah, dude. Yeah. What are you on right now, man? Cloud 9. What? Cloud 9? No, what are you on right now? You gotta be honest. I'm on one, dude. You know what I'm saying? Stop fucking around. What are you on right now, man? TikTok, what? Instagram, all of them. I'm on all of them.
I'm not talking about your ads. Drugs.
Sure, if you got some. Yeah, I'm down. You guys partying? Yeah,
Sir,
dude.
step out of the car.
I need you to be honest with
I like kitties. Yes, kitties are nice. Thanks for the donation, SV. I've got a kitty on my lap right here. See him? He's so handsome. Love my big handsome kitty. He's so good. He's so soft and cuddly. He only has 2 concerns: snack and cuddles. He loves snack and cuddles. He's my baby.
I would say it's probably the biggest.
So yeah, I heard Clav say this, and actually when I went and saw him in real life, he told me that a lot of this doesn't come down to like insecurity. A lot of it comes down to just pure logic, right? So for example, if you're taller, you're gonna have more options because you're 6'6".
We were talking about yesterday, women making up rumors, had at uni like 4 times, had to have evidence for admin and police, yeah. They do it either for attention or just because, again, most women have absolutely no morals whatsoever. They do not give a fuck about anyone else, the lives they ruin, and they're like, it's funny, like people talk about like dudes handling breakups unproductively, and like they'll make fun of men for like working out and stuff after a breakup. Women never ever get over breakups. They hang on to like everything, even if you're not dating them. If you just don't talk to them anymore or something, Like, they can't get over it. And they think they're like totally justified in like ruining your entire life just because you did something that upset them. So yeah, it's fucking crazy.
As opposed to 6'2", and that's better. So he's not insecure. It's just logical. But isn't breaking your legs for more height so you can get more girls a little bit more insecure? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you might get treated better, but also you just broke your legs. So you're you're kind of fucking yourself up, because if that
A statement one gave, he offered a girl cake when she was hungry as a statement of harassment. The fuck?
height is analogous to signaling your ability to protect someone, and you're breaking your legs to look like you can protect while compromising your actual ability to protect, isn't that literally the definition of insecurity?
Well, the thing with insecurity is it depends on whether something is how attached to your identity it is, and how much it's based on deficit motivation versus growth motivation. Like, for example, the way I see looks more than most people is I see them as a currency or a resource, not necessarily as much as an identity. So you have these people who are terrified of changing their appearance because they identify so heavily with it. They look in the mirror and they think, that's me. And for me, you know, I think I
SV donated $5. Let me see. Some good sound effects.
On this episode of Tweaker Geographic, all aboard the Tweaker Express. This precious cargo contains livestock, generators, fans, gasoline, and all essential material necessary for survival. Let's just hope the train does not derail off of the Tweaker tracks. On this episode of Tweaker Geographic, all aboard the Tweaker Express.
I've literally never seen anything like this in my life. He has 3 e-scooters or mobility scooters. What the fuck? Thanks for the donation, SV.
identify a lot more with just my consciousness, my brain, my thoughts, a lot more than my looks. I see my looks just as a currency. It's like you open your bank account's loaded, fuck yeah, but you don't identify with your bank account.
Mm-hmm. So you don't think being called a looks maxer would lead people to believe that you identify with your looks?
Well, I kind of just call myself a looks maxer. I'm not just a looks maxer. I'm like an overall maxer. I think you need to maximize everything. I'm just in the looks maxing sphere because that's what I'm known for mainly. Right? I'm known for my transformation. I'm known for my history in the sphere. I'm not currently like purely obsessed with looks, and they don't really occupy that much of my day. I really don't spend much of my day thinking about looks. Like my diet's locked in automatically, takes no willpower. I go to the gym because it's fun, etc. Right?
What kind of things do you do to looks max? We talked about androgen stuff like that. Do you have like a routine or what?
So nowadays, or even throughout my ascension, it's obviously been primarily androgen usage and like whatever other drugs like MK677, going to the gym on a consistent basis, having like a diet that's at least in line with my goals. It's been like varying in quality throughout the years. Like I used to literally drink white sugar for calories because it was cheap and not very satiating. Nowadays my diet's pretty clean. It's like chicken breast, white bread, rice, and then cereal and skim milk and protein powder.
Do you do like shit for your hair, your eyebrows, or anything?
Yeah, so my brows and lashes are darkened, and I bone smash, and not as consistently anymore, but it used to be like I couldn't leave the house without bone smashing. I literally couldn't leave the house because...
Me too, bro.
Yeah. It's a normal thing, right?
Was that with the hammer you were bone smashing, or with...
Yeah, the bone smashing thing is fucking retarded.
Just the fist.
I always just use my fist. You know, it's portable, easy. It's on skin contact, so it doesn't really damage the skin as much. So like I'd be about to go to the gym, and I'd just be like, all right, I gotta smash my chin real quick.
You also develop your knuckles. This is what people don't understand. So when you're bone smashing, if someone fucks with you, you're like, bone smash them. You know what I'm saying? So that's actually why I've been bones. Okay. I always thought.
Front bicep, please. Also, do you think you will ever be as big as Rich Piana was? What about how strong Mike O'Hearn currently is?
Well, Rich Piana injected like silicone or something into his arms, so Like, so no, not rich piano size. Yeah, I could end up being as strong as Mike O'Hearn. There you go. Thanks for the donation, Sanja.
The bone smashing thing was like cool, like just from the perspective of like, yeah, because you know, I had a buddy who was a Muay Thai fighter, and he would smash his shin with a stick every day. I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, feel my shin. I felt his shin. I was like, holy fuck, I know why he's doing that. But when you're hitting your face, there's no guarantee that the bone is gonna grow back in the position that's symmetrical to your, you know. So I feel like just from that perspective, it might be maybe not the best thing to do, because what's going to happen if you develop some sort of fucking bubble on your head, you know? But yeah, man, I mean, if you know, if you're safely bone smashing, I support. Anyway, I'm not like trying to fucking I'm really open to all this stuff. I'm not trying to like fucking make fun of it or anything. I'm just joking around. But
what I would say really quickly about the asymmetry argument is I've heard that so many times that it doesn't make sense to me, because
I cannot believe that Derek Simnett isn't vegan anymore. Have you seen this yet?
He is not vegan. He feeds his cats meat. He has never been vegan. Thanks for the donation.
It's like, in my opinion, it's like saying, don't do bicep curls because your arms might grow to different sizes. It's like, well, if that would happen, I would just train the other one more.
In the looks maxing community, I noticed there's a thing people do. They rate each other. And I did this with Clav. I've done this with a few other people. They rate each other's looks. And a lot of times on the forums, you know, people are kind of cruel. They're really unfair. Do you think people in the looks maxing community in the black belt are actually rating people accurately? Like, I'm pretty certain if you wanted to rate me, if I got thrown up on the looks maxing forum, listen, I think I'm pretty decent looking, but I think they would rate me a 2, to be completely honest. Like, do you think that's like a fair assessment, or are these people mentally deranged?
They have absolutely no idea what they're talking about, the vast majority of them. And it's like, what credentials or authority do these guys actually have? Like, most of them are losers. They've never gone to a woman in their lives. They don't leave the house. So how the fuck would they know what's attractive or not? Like, how actually would they know? They're not even, their opinions aren't even aligned with like the science behind attractiveness a lot of the time. Like, they'll say that having like a wide frame is uncanny and makes you look scary and reduces attractiveness. A bunch of retarded shit. Like, there are studies debunking this to complete death. And I'm against ratings personally. Like, I think, as I said, looks are a currency for getting women and getting respect. And so why the fuck would you ask a guy what your rating is if you're not looking to fuck men? It never made sense. Like, walk around and see how you get treated by women, or go on a dating app and see how many matches you get. That's your fucking rating. Why are you asking a guy that with facial ratios? Why are you asking a guy to measure your facial ratios and all this shit when looks are just a currency to get women? So just find out how well you get women, right? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that is a good indication. So guys, if you're doing well out on the streets, if you're doing well with women, don't worry about what some random person on the internet rates you. The counter to that is sometimes, you know, people are getting results for reasons other than their looks, right? And people like to try and extrapolate on that, be like, oh, well, he's in a certain niche, or he has a certain phenotype that's attractive to this specific woman, or maybe he is rich, or maybe he's XYZ. I'm curious, like, what would you say your original rate? I'm not going to ask you to rate anyone, but what was your original rating before the ascension to now?
Well, my rating was definitely even lower back in school. My rating back in school was probably like a 4 out of 10.
So subhuman.
Yeah.
Is that accurate? Is subhuman?
It's 9 p.m. and you just say, babe, I'ma go out for a drink with the boys. Be back in an hour. 4:99 a.m.
Be weird if gnomes were real. That just looks like she bent her arm. Thanks for the donation, SV.
Yeah, pretty much a subhuman. I sort of like ascended even by like 18 because I was at least tall and I was a little bit less fucking weird looking. Like, I had literally no eyebrows and like braces. I looked like an actual goblin as a kid. I would say based on the height, I was like a 5.5 out of 10. If you just went by face, probably like maybe like 4.5 to 5.
And so how about now?
I never really rate myself now because I think it's
a bit gay, isn't it? Putting you on the spot, man. What do you rate yourself?
I would have to say, and like, it depends on the bell curve, but I'm higher than 99th percentile. I would say that.
How much of a halo is your height during nightlife?
Definitely a big one, but like I said, I used to be tall and with nothing else going for me, and it wasn't looking too good. Here's the funny thing is, I only really got the ability to like approach women like this year.
Really?
Well, sorry, last year. Like even before that, like I was still slaying in like 2023, 2024, and I never approached. I would only rely on getting approached.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I can't go up to girls. Fucking no. What's the slay count?
Slay count, it's a little bit under 30.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I was expecting like a crazier number.
Last year, I didn't really care too much. In 2025, it was a little bit less. It was mainly 2023 and 2024.
I used to hook up with women trying to convince them to go vegan. They would eat vegan when with me but wouldn't actually make the switch. No matter how much they agreed with it and watched the most graphic videos. Being vegan made me hate people honestly.
Vast majority of people on the planet are complete scumbag pieces of shit. So, like, look, just look at how common it is to see the rise of fascism and totalitarian regimes. Like, there's a reason why people like Hitler get in power. There's a reason why there's the spread of communism. There's a reason why the kind of normal, natural state of humanity is fascism and totalitarian dictatorships. It's because most people are a combination of amoral degenerates or so stupid they don't even know what's good for them. So yeah, most people are just pieces of shit. That's why I just avoid people for the most part. Thanks for the donation though, cunt fucker McGee.
Before I racked them all up.
Yeah, no, that's the best, man. When you're just like locked in, you don't give a fuck about pussy. Like sometimes in a guy's life, all they can think about is fucking pussy. It's the most unproductive thing in the world. Like, holy shit. But if I was like asexual, I swear to God, I would be so rich, bro. Because the amount of time, especially when I was like 18, 19, just like, bro, I didn't go to class. I didn't do anything. All I did was go to the gym and like talk to girls and then see if I could like get them over. And if I couldn't get them over, I'd go to the bars and see if I could get girls. It was the worst thing ever, bro. And I wasted so much time. Like if I literally did anything productive during that time, it would have been like a lot better.
What's funny is last year
SV donated $5. Let me see. Like, it's so weird. The fucking video loads before the option to...
She's only 154 with good genes. I think she's natural too. I would hit.
Nobody's 154. What do you mean? No idea what the fuck you're talking about. I don't get it. She looks the same. She's not attractive. Thanks for the donation, dude.
Tweaker. Perched atop fences and power lines, he plays his music. Snot spills from his nose in time with the music. Each note drags the Renaissance closer to the present, and we suffer for it. Researchers believe this is some type of dark tweaker magic. These Renaissance fiddler tweakers are known to drop rare loot. On this,
there are a lot of people who are so cracked.
This woman quickly realized that
just cannot exist in society.
Messing with someone's car was a bad idea because while she and her boyfriend were arguing with the driver, she took off her shoe and started hitting the car's front window, thinking nothing would happen. But she was completely wrong. This woman.
People are, like, actually fucking stupid fucking with somebody when they're in their car. That's one of the dumbest things you can fucking do. Like, yeah, let me just stand in front of somebody's car while I'm trying to fuck with them when they could run me over. Like, what do you think's gonna happen? It's like trying to attack somebody who has a gun pointed at you. It's so stupid. Thanks for the donation, SV.
I went on a very strict cut, like almost zero fat, and I was also on no AI, pretty high estrogen, and the combo of those made me like fully asexual.
Oh wow!
Like, fully. And yeah, even late last year, it kind of happened again. Like I had literally had 4 girls over that I just refused to even fuck in a row.
Why would you just be chilling with 4 girls? That'd be fucking terrible.
No,
Get the
but
fuck
not
out of
4
here.
girls
Get
at once,
naked or
like,
leave,
you know.
bitch. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's a joke.
Yeah, but you know, maybe that contributed to some of my productivity last year, you know, because that's when things started to take off. But
Yeah. I feel like your pent up sexual frustration, like low-key makes you like a harder worker. Like when I'm like so like fucking horny and mad, I'm like, yo, like I'm gonna do some fucking work right now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't know what I mean. I just like this guy's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Dude, when I get too horny, I can't do fucking anything. When I first hopped on steroids, there was like a 2-week period where I was just so fucking ridiculously horny constantly. It was fucking horrendous. I hope that never happens again. I was so sickeningly, disgustingly horny.
I kind of get that. The kind of the default motivation and ambition that like a man has, that we need to get fucking pussy, we need to reproduce. And until it's replaced by something else, I feel like that always is one of the main driving forces of men's ambition. It's only like people like us, we're pretty rare in the sense that we actually have very high ambition to improve our careers because the path is very set in stone, right? But for the average guy, they're working a shit job. What the fuck are they going to care about, right? What are they actually waking up and trying to do? Probably trying to get little girls because they don't give a fuck about their work.
If I didn't have social media, quite honestly, I'd be super lost in life because I always knew I wanted to do this. It wasn't necessarily like I want to. I mean, I'll ask you what you think.
Gee, donate $2. Let me see.
Come here. What are you doing? Kiss, kiss. No. Kiss, kiss. No, I don't want to kiss, kiss. Just call me a bitch.
Parrots are so hilarious.
Simon, don't touch my phone. You excited? What are you doing?
Parrots are awesome. Love parrots. Thanks for the donation, G.
For yourself after, but it wasn't like, oh, I want to be like a TikToker, Instagram, YouTube guy. Like that was never my goal. When I was a kid, I was just obsessed with like making videos. So like however that would have been done would be my career. So whether that's in TV, movies, like whatever, that was what I wanted to do. So it just so happened that I started doing social media, but it wasn't necessarily to become popular. I mean, that's a big plus, but it was mainly just so I could make stuff. Because what I would do is I would make stuff and then I would watch it over and over and over. And I was like, this is all that I'm doing. So let me do social media. But I remember before that, before I had that, you know, aha moment, I was going to school and I was like telling people that I was going to do law school or like police work or whatever. I remember as a bouncer too. And then I was just kind of like meandering. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And it's like really hard to be motivated because you wake up and you don't even know what the fuck your goal is. It's like, what am I going to just...
SV donated $5. Let me see.
Would you punch me in the face for $1 billion?
I punch you in the face for $40. $1 billion? $1 billion. You'd have trouble getting me off of you for $1 billion. I would hit you with a snow shovel in front of your mom. For $1 billion? $1 billion. I don't even care if I have to pay taxes on it.
Wow.
Back over you with my car.
Wow.
$1 billion.
Yeah, $1 billion would be worth it.
Why they gotta say it like short?
It's a good bear. It's a funny bear costume. Thanks for the donation, SV.
just wake up and be some fucking slave for some boss who doesn't give a fuck about me, or God forbid, you know, make no money, have no freedom. Sounds like, you know, if I was a fucking police officer, sounds like I would have been in jail by the looks of my life. I have to be somewhere by a certain time, and fucking someone's gonna tell me what to do and belittle me, and then, you know, I mean, shout out to the fucking good cops out there, but it's just, you know, sounded fucking shit, to be honest. And so I completely agree with that. Was that kind of where you were at?
100%. Before I got into like really being a social media influencer, whatever you want to call it, I woke up and all I thought was, how do I look better and how do I get more women? Those were like my two fucking goals. And everything else was just a complete blur. I mean, I went into security. I was a bouncer as well. That's like the one job that I've done prior to having this platform. And that was fun. But again, that was like purely to girls and just get exposure to people in my life and get paid for it. It was like, seemed like a good gig.
It's crazy, man. I've talked about being a bouncer before. Do you ever watch any of my videos talking about it?
I think I watched one of them.
After I made a couple of videos talking about it, like a bunch of people hit me up being like, yo, I started being a bouncer. And one of them is an influencer in Miami now. He's like popular now. But before that, because I made these videos like 2 years ago. Before that, he became a bouncer because of me. So it's just really interesting. I think everyone kind of has the same mentality, because it's like you literally get paid to stand there and watch social dynamics unfold. And for, you know, some of us who are like these kind of like high performing guys, but we're like low key autistic, like that's like perfect, because it's like I get to watch you fail so I can succeed. You know what I mean? Everyone notices the same stuff. Everyone notices the guys who get the most girls and what they're doing and like who has the status in the club. It's funny, if you work at like a little shitty bar versus like a big nightclub in the city, like the different people who come in and everything. It's really fascinating. How long did you work as a bouncer?
About a year and a half. Well, what I loved as a bouncer is you're essentially getting paid to mog.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's perfect as anyone that's involved in looks and getting women and is like looks like masculine, has a good physique. It's like the prime job, because it's actually fun. Like I remember at a good venue, it was more fun being security than.
SV donated $5. Let me see. That's cool. Most music is fucking terrible. That chick's not even good looking. She's just got boobs. Boobs aren't even that great. It's pretty rare that I ever get turned on by tits. There's only been like a few girls where I've really been turned on by their tits, and I don't even know why, because like I don't care if a girl has big boobs or something. It has more to do with the shape. Remember there was 2 girls in my high school where I really liked their tits for some reason. One chick had really ridiculously huge boobs. But the shape was really nice. And there was another chick who had like smaller boobs, but I don't know, I just really liked them. I thought they were fucking hot. Like way more of an ass man, but yeah. It's only been a few times where I've ever been turned on by a girl's tits. Thanks for the donation, though, SV. Ben Boyd donated $2. Let me see. Person.
To best spread their scent, they really have to put their back into it.
It's funny how bears are so dangerous, but they look like friends. Thanks for the donation, Ben Boy.
Just like going out, because you get way more fucking attention because you have so many more excuses for women to talk to you. And also you can act autistic and plausible deniability is there, right? Like you can literally stand there nonchalant, like not even responding to them, just being muggy. And they're like, oh, he's just doing his job, you know? But and you could just like stand around and like look at the hot girl.
Just as if you're just there, a wallflower, everyone's like, ew, what the fuck is wrong with him? But it's like, you're doing the exact same thing. You just have a shirt on that says security. And what's crazy, you know what's so crazy? I never got more girls in my life than when I worked as a bouncer. I had so many girls coming up to me. I had like probably like 10, 12 a night come up to me. I would go out.
SV donated $5. Let me see.
I took the drugs and the drugs are working. and the drugs are working. I took the drugs and the drugs are working. Took the drugs are working, and the drugs are working, and the drugs are working. I took the drugs and the drugs are working, and the drugs are working.
Oh my god. That guy is pretty hilarious. Oh.
Did you just realize you're a dog?
Nah, I think he's just checking on his gains, bro. He in that mirror like, I got that dog in me.
Duke.
That dog is very person. That's some good puppeteering. Thanks for the donation, SV. Oh man, I gotta piss. Oh, I'm sorry, Gum. I gotta get up. Oh, I got a big noodle on me. Look at my chonko. My big chunky kitty. He was napping with me earlier. He just loves to cuddle. Mwah. I love my big cuddle buddy. I gotta get up, Gum. Sorry. Crap. Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah, sorry, Gum. Alright, I'll be right back. Just gotta piss.
Oh. Oh, dude. Oh my god. Oh. I trained legs today. Oh boy. I am so exhausted after that. Oh, fuck.
Venezuelan opposition leader Marina Corina Machado has reportedly thrown in the towel. The Maduro regime strongly remains in power and would take a full-on Vietnam-style invasion to overthrow.
No, they can just bomb the shit out of all their military bases. So, the military is intertwined with the drug trafficking they're doing. So, it wouldn't surprise me if the military still, like, basically whoever the generals are, the military leadership would try to maintain power over the country, just because they're making money from drug trafficking. So it's possible that, yeah, the U.S. might have to have some substantial military intervention. But when everyone just starts dying, I don't know, I don't know how long they're really gonna try that shit for. Like, just look at the 2 Iraq wars. Like, the first Iraq war, U.S. just came in, like, literally after 90 minutes they won. Second Iraq war, like, that was like 3 days. It was over. So, I'd be very fucking surprised if there was prolonged resistance. I think the gangs are probably going to be a bigger problem than the military. Thanks for the donation. Ben Boy donated $2. Let me see. Oh. Yeah, this cat bites. I think if you tried to boop him that many times, he'd bite you. Ain't right, Gum Gum. Sometimes he just bites unprovoked. He sort of just likes playing rough. He'll come up and ask you to pet him, and then you'll pet him, and then he'll just start biting you. Don't think he means anything by it. He just likes to bite. I remember my mom came over once, and for whatever reason, he liked the bun in her hair, and he just started biting her hair. It's a lot of boops. The cat's very patient. Thanks for the donation, Ben Boy.
Why do you watch so much brain rot? LLLL train emoji, pitching a tent emoji.
Oh, gross. I'm not watching that.
These are the 5 biggest sources of microplastics exposure in your life. These 5 things are causing you to ingest millions of microplastics, possibly every day. The single biggest source of microplastic exposure for humans, I believe, is paper coffee cups, that are lined with plastic. One of the biggest things I've learned from researching microplastics is that hot water going into plastic is a massive source of microplastic exposure for humans. The worst, the worst. Your paper coffee cup is a plastic cup in disguise, no question about this. Number 2 is plastic tea bags. Research on plastic tea bags suggests that millions or billions of microplastics can be released per liter when these are exposed to hot liquids. Only a fraction of tea bags contain plastic, but make sure your tea bags have 0 plastic in them. Number 3, you didn't even know about this one. Soup cans are lined with plastic, and the soup goes into the can hot. Again, hot liquids exposed
You can get BPA-free liners.
to plastic, huge microplastic exposure. Number 4 is plastic cutting boards. Every time you cut on a plastic cutting board, thousands or tens of thousands of fragments of plastics are being released into your food. You do not.
Yeah, like, the only content he really uploads that is even remotely sensible is, like, the plastic stuff. Like, I'm not going to argue with him about microplastics, because, yeah, they are potentially very dangerous. Like, nobody really knows about them.
Chicken is full of chlorine. Did you know that even organic chicken can be dunked in a chlorine bath and have up to 12% retained water?
Yes, they do that so you don't die of a bacterial infection.
From the chilling process, which means unless your chicken says it's air chilled, it is full of chemicals and chlorine that are absorbed into the chicken when it is chilled. So this is
Yes, they do that so you don't die of a bacterial infection.
organic chicken from Costco. It's not air chilled. Up to 7% water retained from the chilling process, but it's not just water. It's chlorine, which isn't good for you, plus other chemicals that are in the chicken from when they chill it. Let's look at these other chickens. Look at this. So these are the party wings. The drumsticks, up to 3% water retained from the chilling process. Over here, the regular chicken thighs have up to 9% water retained from the chilling process. Same thing over here, chicken party wings. Almost 10% of the water in this chicken is potentially full of chlorine and other chemicals they're using to sterilize the chicken. So what do? It's a little hard to find this, but when you're buying chicken, make sure that it's organic and air chilled. Send this to somebody you know who.
Or just don't eat chicken or meat in general. Yeah, it's been working out fine for me. Paul's a fucking retard. Thanks for the donation. Palestine and China are gay as fuck. SV donate $5. Let me see. That's pretty weird.
Our mission to locate a legendary
One of the craziest things I've ever seen are the POVs of mountain goats.
relic whispered about in local lore, a relic not of ancient civilizations, but of a meth lab gone spectacularly, catastrophically wrong. As we venture north, the landscape shifts, trees thin, traffic grows, and finally, there it stands. Our quarry, a trap house, so ravaged by time and chemistry, it has achieved near mythical status. Once a humble dwelling, it now crouches behind layers of plywood armor, every door and window sealed shut, as if the building itself is ashamed of its past. Trash litters the ground in chaotic formation, the remains of a
Jeez.
lifestyle lived at maximum velocity. The roof bears the ultimate battle scar, a charred, smoldered hole, punched through by the fiery tantrum of a meth lab well past its expiration date. In the urban wilderness of Tacoma, this structure remains a battered monument to destruction, survival, and whatever you'd call the opposite of good.
Well, thanks for the donation, SV. Don't fucking care. As if I'm gonna listen to any of that horse shit.
Boop boop bop bitey bitty boop boop bop bop baby nay wobby dabby dodo wibby wobble wibby wow blinky ba dinky boo boo boppity boop boop bop bitey bitty boop boop bop bop baby nay wobby dabby dodo help boop boop bop bitey bitty boop boop bop bop baby nay wobby dabby dodo wibby wobble wibby wow blinky ba dinky boo.
That's nice. Thanks for the donation, SV. Alright, that's nice. Don't care. Dodo, Donny Tillers, can you react at 4 to 520? Do you agree with him about Trump?
And by the way, folks, you know who Trump at his place and realize what's going on? You know what's been very clear the last 9 months? Here's what's very clear the last 9 months, and it's not even close. The biggest alpha of every room in the world is Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Let me say that one more time. There are many alphas. The biggest alpha in any room in the world is Donald Trump. Everyone has to go to him, period. DeSantis learned the hard way. Pierre Poilievre learned the hard way. Canadians learned the hard way.
What do you mean Pierre Poilievre? He has no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
He learned the hard way. You know, Bezos eventually had to come to him. Zuck had to eventually come to him. Everybody who thought they were bigger alpha than him, it took time. It took 78 years.
Yeah, that's great. He is only president for 4 years, dude, so.
To realize, alpha is not just about being the richest man in the world. Alpha is not just about being the tallest, the richest, the wealthiest, the best looking, the famous. Nope. There's alpha quality that he has that none of these other guys have. And Elon has probably sat on the sidelines saying, damn, you got to give this guy respect. And he said it so many times. So let's see what's going to happen here. I've been getting a lot of messages about people talking about.
No, not really. Thanks for the donation, Dodo.
Song request.
Alright, I can do this for you. Thanks for the donation, SV.
Feel unincluded. Robert will make some together.
Rigatoni pasta. I'm going to South Carolina. 25% coupon Walgreens. There were mollusks and alcohol. 14 of them make me mad. Sometimes Robert. They see me pop, baby pop, wobbly with the wobbly wow. Help, bubbly bob, baby, weather, wobble, wibble, wow, bubbly bob, Alright. Well, that was hard to keep up with at the end, but it wasn't bad. Thanks for the donation, SV.
I been training legs and I have a leg condition. I been doing pause sitting squats. I think it really helps, especially with the knees. Have you tried it, VG? Also, is ERCAT protective against home invasion?
No, I'd probably run away if somebody broke in, which is kind of what I'd want him to do so that he doesn't get hurt. So yeah, he'd probably run and hide. But again, I want Gummy to be safe, so I'd rather him run and hide. Love my Gum. Matters most of all is he stays safe. I want this kitty to be safe. I've never found box squats to be easier on my knees, but they are less fatiguing overall. Congratulations, you're banned. They are less fatiguing overall, and if you have certain injuries that you're recovering from, then they can be good. I don't really like doing them just because they're more of a pain in the ass to set up. But I used to do box squats after I tore my adductor. They helped me recover from the adductor tear. My knees have actually been feeling extremely good. Better than ever, actually. So, some of that probably has to do with the steroids and growth hormone I'm on. I also just started taking thyroid medication, which I think might have had something to do with it. Thanks for the donation, Strong Green.
Nobody knows what the health consequences of microplastic will be because it hasn't been around and studied for long enough. The same is true for the COVID vaccine and any mRNA vaccine. So will you agree that it was dumb of you to take the jab?
No, you fucking moron. Thanks for the donation, 21st. JP, don't tell her this guy's a bigger retard than Frank. That's a high bar. Guess we'll see. I know who this jackass is. I don't know enough about his personal life to really know if he is in fact a bigger retard than Frank. I know he's a faggot.
What do I do to make my money? And I hate to be the guy to come on here and act like I'm some sort of rocket scientist doing this.
I'm not even listening to this. Soon as somebody puts on annoying music that's louder than their voice, I'm just not watching it.
I realize you could just let your dog shit right.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen that. Thanks for the donation, dude.
To the same place, but just for fun. Nothing. And I really do think that has to do with, like, when you're a bouncer, you automatically have status and you also have control to access. So a woman will see that and find that, attractive. Also, I think they just want to see if they can fuck a bouncer versus if you're just some guy, you're just some guy. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, he's just some guy. Your bouncer, it's like, wow. You know what I mean?
Why do you take thyroid medication? Hypo. The growth hormone I was on depleted my T4, and I ended up getting really, really severe water retention from it. So I came off the growth hormone, and a month later I tested my thyroid hormones, free T4 and T3, and my free T4 was low. And that's after a month of being off the growth hormone. And I had like every symptom of hypothyroidism, or almost every symptom. Dry skin, really, really low energy, lethargy, really horrible muscle aches for a little bit too, for a few weeks.
Richard's life is gay and boring.
I don't know. I watch cartoons with my cat. That's pretty exciting. Yeah, I had really horrible muscle aches, and sometimes they're so bad, like I literally couldn't lift any weight. Like, I went from benching 315 for like 9 reps, and then like a week later, the muscle aches were so bad, the most I could do was like 185. So I had like almost every fucking symptom of hypothyroidism. So yeah, I started T4 a few days ago. Pretty much everything's going away. The water tension's going down. Have a lot more energy, especially today. It's like really kicking in. I got tired after I worked out, but it was a really hard workout. But yeah, for the last like month or month and a half, I just didn't want to train. Like, I really had to force myself to do it. And after just a few days on the Synthroid, the T4, I actually want to train again. Like, I have energy, and I get up, and I'm, like, actually excited to train, so... Feeling a lot fucking better.
This is LeBron's shoe. This is what LeBron's foot looks like. This is what Shaq's shoes used to look like. And here's a picture of Shaq's foot. Here are...
Paul is such a fucking retard. Why does he think this has anything to do with their shoes and not to do with their sport? Like, are you a fucking retard?
Are the shoes that Usain Bolt would train in. And here's a picture of Usain Bolt's.
I've worn shoes my entire life, and my feet don't look like that. So I think this has more to do with the way they're training than the shoes they're wearing, you dumb fuck.
Feet. Modern shoes are destroying our feet. These athletes are just high profile.
No, the training they're doing is making their feet look that way.
Examples of how the narrow toe box and narrow modern shoes can be horrible for your feet. This is what a healthy foot is supposed to look
like. That is a foot.
Like, look at how wide.
So this is an image from a tribes person, like a hunter-gatherer, and I'm pretty sure this is from an Amazonian tribe that walks through mud a lot. So your foot shape is going to change depending on the surfaces you're walking on. So if you're walking on loose, muddy surfaces all day, your feet are going to, like, the bones in your feet are basically going to spread out, and your feet are just going to look weird. If you're not walking on loose, muddy surfaces all day, your feet are just going to look normal. There's no reason for them to spread out like crazy. So Paul is just dumb as fuck, dude.
This hunter-gatherer's foot is. And look at this photo of a man's foot misshaped and deformed from wearing narrow-toed dress shoes for too long. Here's what my foot looks like. I try and go barefoot.
Yes, your feet look like my feet. Like a normal person's foot who just wears normal people's shoes that fit properly, and you also aren't doing like extreme fucking agility training or sprint training.
Foot as much as I can, and I always try and wear shoes with as wide a toe box as possible. But look at this, guys. If I put my bare foot up to a modern shoe, how is a normal, healthy foot from someone that walks barefoot most of the time supposed to fit into one of these things? It doesn't. Modern shoes are crushing your feet at the metatarsal phalangeal joint. They're not good for you. So what's
Yes, it's better to walk on broken glass, apparently.
the solution? Go barefoot as much as you can, and when you have to wear shoes, look for shoes with a wide toe box, because your feet are incredibly valuable. They're how you connect with the ground, and you don't...
Yeah, don't wear shoes. It's much better to step on broken glass or a used needle on the street. Paul's a fucking idiot.
This is what I ate in a day on New Year's Eve. I started the day with some raw goat milk, some glyphosate-free honey, and some creatine. Then I went surfing in the ocean to get some grounding. After surf, I had a coconut for some electrolytes.
Why would you need to... The grounding thing just makes no sense. Just fucking stupid.
And I made some breakfast, some grass-fed beef burgers, some raw cheese, and some papaya.
Okay, so pretty much everything he's eaten so far, aside from the papaya, is just pure shit.
Afternoon, I probably spent some time podcasting or researching, and then I make a snack, which was kefir, blueberries, and some glyphosate-free honey on this day. For dinner, I grilled a
He eats a lot of processed sugar.
Fed grass-finished ribeye steak. I grilled a plantain, which is like
and a lot of red meat, which is not good for you.
a starchy banana. I made some pineapple. I added some raw butter to the steak, and I got some...
Yes, we should eat what our ancestors and hunter-gatherers eat. No hunter-gatherer has ever in their fucking life consumed butter. But we should eat like hunter-gatherers. Consumes butter like a fucking retard.
Whole package from Heart and Soil Supplement. That was my animal-based dinner on New Year's Eve.
Yes, and the hunter-gatherer supplements, right.
That's what I ate yesterday, but today is
Yes, and you look like you're aging like a fucking avocado.
January the 1st. It's a new year. Join us for Animal-Based 30 with Heart.
Fucking retard.
Starbucks has the eggnog latte right now, guys. Garbage. Processed sugars, carrageenan, which is
He eats processed sugar constantly. It's called honey.
inflammatory for your gut. Let me show you how to make healthy eggnog. Yes, eggnog can be healthy. Watch this. I love eggnog. Let's go. High protein raw eggnog. What? Check it out. The ingredients are super simple.
Yes, hunter-gatherer whey protein.
And they are all really healthy. You start with 3 or 4 cups A2, grass-fed milk or raw milk, 5 egg yolks. Here I've got 5 duck egg yolks. Look at how orange these are. The amount of choline.
They're orange because they feed the ducks food dye. That's literally what it is. It's basically just food dye. It's certain like plant extract thing. It comes from a flower that's colored yellow, like it's a yellow flower. That's why they're yellow. It's just from the food they eat.
Choline in these egg yolks is good for your brain. It's actually been shown to decrease Alzheimer's incidence. Then you're going to add about
No, eggs have not been shown to decrease risk of Alzheimer's. He's making that up.
a third of a cup of organic maple syrup, a pinch of cinnamon,
So more processed sugar.
and a pinch of salt. Put in some protein powder. And you're gonna whisk it all together. Now, if you're worried about raw egg yolks or raw milk, you can heat up your eggnog to 160 degrees, but I'm just gonna go raw eggnog on this one, guys.
Yep. Have fun with the salmonella infection that you might end up having. Thanks for the donation, dude.
She won, but at what cost?
Okay, pretend I'm not me and I'm a random girl and I'm a girl at a party and I come up to you. Hey, how are you? What's your name?
What are we gonna do?
I'm a random girl, I'm not me.
Day 1 of completely cutting emo music out of my life. Week 1 of completely cutting emo music out of my life. 1 month in of completely cutting emo music out of my life, and I started talking to a girl. 6 months into completely cutting emo music out of my life, and I'm now dating that girl. 1 year of no emo music, but she just broke up with me yesterday.
Yeah, it wasn't that wasn't funny at all. Yeah, that's a costume or AI. Like, eventually they will have sex robots that are really good. Life's gonna be a lot better with sex robots. Thanks for the donation, SV.
I miss when my ex would touch my butthole and sniff her fingers during sex. Here's $3. Agit bit jitment blitznig my eye mine exigregtig.
Well, my condolences. Thanks for the donation, Pino.
Not saying I never pull bitches without a security shirt on, but, and the other thing is if I want to have comparable success in nightlife, it's like, now it's like I gotta show who I am, sort of. So if like people know who I am and they're like taking photos, I'm sure the same happens to you. It's like, okay, now girls start looking. But if I'm just like walking around, you know, they might look, but they're not going to necessarily come up to me.
Yeah, for me, I would say I definitely get the most girls right now just because I have a lot of status now. It makes it easy. But the second most was definitely working as a bouncer, like one of the best venues. It was just so easy, and it was funny when like early last year or like late 2024, Clav and I would be in Discord just like telling each other about our nights. So like. How many fucking women we pulled or whatever. It was pretty funny.
When it comes to you having a lot of status now, is that because people actually, like the girls themselves have seen you, or like maybe a guy sees you and he's telling everyone who you are, sort of thing? Because I'm not going to lie, girls, sorry to cut you off, but girls will only know who I am if their boyfriend watches me. They're like, oh, my boyfriend watches you. Like, cool. Like, oh, where's Shan?
Yeah, so in my case, it started off with mainly being the latter, being where guys would know me and then like I'd be getting swarmed asking for pics and then girls would be like, what the fuck, who's this guy?
Yeah.
But nowadays, surprisingly, a lot of women come up to me saying they're fans. A lot of women know me. They're like, oh, Androgenic, and they're like asking me for a pic and stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like a lot of my fame is localized in Brisbane because that's how the TikTok algorithm works. So I'm like pretty fucking famous here.
You know, let's say the average guy is like a 5. Would you agree with that?
By definition, yeah.
How does one go from a 5 to a 7 or an 8?
The tried and true method really is going to be taking androgens, getting really fucking lean and muscular, getting tan, making your coloring, darkening your eyebrows and lashes, probably having like medium length hair, and getting whatever surgery benefits you personally. And just in some cases, bone smashing, depending on your facial base. It depends on what their flaws are and how easily fixable they are. If your eyes are like way too fucking close together or far apart, you're kind of fucked. Like, unless you want to get an orbital box osteotomy to fix that, you're kind of fucked. And then, if you have a fucked up nose, rhinoplasty is pretty simple, right? If you have like completely like recessed maxilla like all the way through, you're probably not going to get a fucking LaFour 3. Again, you're kind of fucked. Fucked up teeth, braces, really skinny, fucking roids, short, fucked, super narrow frame. You can do a little bit, but kind of fucked.
What do you think I should do?
What should you do?
Yeah.
Well, in your case, I would say 10. Maybe personally, I remember when you had like longer hair, I personally thought that looked probably better on you. Darken the brows and lashes a bit more. Not to say they're a weak point, but they can always be stronger. Yeah, like really lean, both on like water weight and body fat. Maybe get a bit of bone smashing. I doubt you'll do that. I doubt you'll do that.
I'm wrong if I do that. Will I become Chad or will I be Chad Light? Or maybe I'll just be what like level would I be at? It's like in fucking COD if you get to fucking Grandmaster 3 or whatever. What am I now? Am I subhuman in the
I still think bone smashing's fucking stupid. Really, really stupid. Taking steroids, working out. I think cosmetic surgery is maybe a little stupid, depending on what you're doing. Like, what Frank Tufano did was just out of this world fucking dumb. But, yeah, like, plastic surgery, I think, works really well if something on your face is fucked. So, if you have some, like, weird fucked hook nose or something, yeah, that'll work. If you have, like, an insanely recessed chin and you can't even breathe properly and shit, like, yeah, the whatever they call it where they move your jaw out, like, yeah, that works. But if you have like a normal person nose and you're expecting your nose to look like perfect or something after plastic surgery, it's probably just going to look worse. Or it'll look the same, only it just looks like you had plastic surgery or something. So plastic surgery, to me, it only really makes sense if something's like actually fucked on your face. If you just kind of look normal, just deal with it. Like, just take steroids, get jacked, get leaner, eat well and stuff. You can maybe do something with your hair or like, sure, like dye your eyebrows darker or some stupid shit like that. But plastic surgery, like, you should never have the expectation that if you just look fine, you're going to look better with plastic surgery. You're probably just going to look fucked up.
Will I get to a mid-tier?
I would assume, based on fucking looking at you, you go in public, and even if people don't know who you are, you're going to get treated pretty well.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And then if you max everything out in the ways that I suggest, you do even better, right? Like, you'd be pretty fucking stand out.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't want to take all that time. I do think like I should try though, just because like I am on camera a lot, so like couldn't hurt to do. It's like at the end of the day, it's not that big a deal. And like if your career is on camera all the time, it'd be this equivalent of like taking care of your body as an athlete. So I really should get into it. I think I like talking about it and like listening about it more than actually like doing it. Because like I fucking hate pinning anything. I have, bro, the amount of peptides I have in my fridge because I'm sponsored, right?
I love injecting steroids. I just love filling a syringe with steroids and stabbing myself with a needle and pulling the plunger. I do not understand I don't get it. I don't get how people are like afraid of needles and they hate pinning. It doesn't hurt, and you're taking steroids, which are awesome. It's like a vaccine against weakness.
Right? Haven't touched them since I got back. I haven't pinned any fucking tests. Haven't really done the only thing I've done is gotten a haircut. It's like the only thing I've done since I've been back from jail. So fuck.
Pretty easy to attend there. I know that.
He was in jail? What the fuck?
Didn't go outside the entire time. I was in there the whole month. Like they didn't let us out. So it's so gay.
Yeah, and then now even in Toronto, you're getting fuck all like
Dude, it's freezing, bro. It's freezing. Yeah. But I don't know if I want to dye my hair black, but I could do like dark brown, and then I could get a tan with a tanning bed and use MT2, and then use like Retta at like 3 mg a week. Sorry. Have there goes. And then I probably put a little bit of crystal meth in my protocol as well.
Yeah.
Yep. And maybe some TRT and some Anavar, but I also want to stay natural because what's it called? Misfits Boxing hit me up, and I do want to do that. And like I don't know, but like I can still take fucking like Milano tan. Like they're not going to be like, holy shit, you're too tan to fucking box this guy. Like, yeah, but
too hard.
Would you ever do like a fuck me? I almost forgot. Would you ever do an influencer fight? I saw that bodybuilder Henry who beat the fuck out of his girlfriend. He was chirping at you.
I would definitely have to get into like training a fighting sport for a decent while beforehand, but I wouldn't be opposed to the idea of like doing a fight.
So what happened there? You're out streaming, and then Mr. Henry pulled up on you and just fucking, what did he do?
Honestly, it was a little bit staged. I'm not gonna lie.
It was. Oh, you know him?
I don't really know him, but I know some of his friends.
I'm so high it legit took me 10 minutes to paste this. Rate it.
The kickback mad on the spinner. I see enough man just run for my niggas. How they talk about dingers? They ain't got dingers. They ain't.
Range Rovers fucking suck. I don't know how they're so bad, and they've been so bad for so long. They've got to be the single most unreliable SUV like ever made. They're not even like, even for comparable price point, they're not even like good at anything compared to like another SUV at a comparable price point. Like, why the fuck would you get a Range Rover? And I love how this is like the flex too. You'd think you'd rent a fucking G-Wagon or something if you wanted to flex for like a rap song. But no, let me be a fucking dumbass and rent a Range Rover. Or like maybe this guy's uncle or something has a fucking Range Rover. Like this. Oh my god, total fail. Yeah, that's just garbage.
And change for the better. If you could see my vision, I came home and I took life. Years, I got nothing to show. Friends, and life goes on.
Yeah, that's garbage. Wow, this guy sounds gay as fuck.
I'm pushing. They know it's gonna be a shooter. None of
Yeah, fucking fag. Oh yeah, I'm not even watching that. Thanks for the donation, Bootycam.
Friends.
Oh, so they were like, yo, we're gonna pull up on you, like let's like.
Well, the funny thing was that it was sort of staged, but everyone thought it was real, including the friends, because it actually did escalate. Like he did push me pretty fucking hard, like impulsively, but I didn't really care.
But did you know who he was before?
I knew who he was.
You knew he like beat the fuck out of his girl? Because that shit was on the news. I saw that, bro.
Yeah, that's why I didn't I wasn't gonna do any content where I was like being friendly with him. Like, I thought
yeah, that was horrible. Yeah. Holy fuck! Like, what a shitty guy. What peptides would you recommend?
Overall, I think peptides are fucking cope for muscle and bone for the most part. Like, I suppose they can do a little bit, but it's like take fucking GH, take GH and test. That's gonna do way more. I mean,
true. I think adding in BPC and TB500 can make sense, but growth hormone's better than any fucking peptide.
GH can be considered like a peptide hormone, I suppose, but it's not really like.
It is a peptide, but you know.
Us in another universe, love the Wandering Mason.
I'm going down to the railway station.
Oh my goodness. Oh. I love how turtles do that. Oh. They're French. I really like seals. Oh. Oh my god, the parrots are enjoying a pizza together. Wow. Oh, fennec foxes. Oh. Those are really nice llamas. I really like llamas. Otter French. Oh, turtle French. Ducks. Rats. That's nice. Thanks for the donation, Wandering Gason.
I mean, MT2 and Retta is like the tried and true for just fucking getting lean in 10 easily.
Yeah, you're completely right. I think peptides in general, like, they're not going to ascend you. I had talked to a lot of people about this. It's crazy how people think, oh, if you just take this peptide stack, you're going to look like.
Yeah, BPC and TB500, they're not going to, like, be good for every type of injury. They're particularly good for tendons and ligaments. You also do get inconsistent results from them. I think they're particularly fragile, so you might get a batch that works really well, and then you might get a batch that doesn't work so well. And apparently you can also have an immune response to them where your immune system will stop them from working. And I know this is pretty and it does make sense. It's pretty common to hear guys who will use BPC or TB500 for like a few weeks and it'll work well, and then they'll keep taking them and then they just don't do anything anymore. So they're like, some people's immune response might be different, and like your immune system might shut it down right away. But the first time I took TB500, it worked fucking amazingly well. I had some sort of shoulder problem that fixed it like right away. First time I used BPC, that didn't do anything. Second time I used it, it worked really well. And I used TB500 another 2 times. The second time I used it, it didn't seem to do anything. Third time I used it, it worked pretty well.
Like so-and-so. It's not really the case, especially if the creator telling you that has a code. Like, they're getting a hefty commission percentage. So you should really check what they're saying. Like, for example, if they're not saying any side effects or not mentioning any cons at all, like, for example, if they're not even saying it's expensive, then I wouldn't even listen to them, because that's just or if they're not listing better alternatives either, I wouldn't listen to them, because there's, how many videos have you seen where it's like the top 3 best peptides, they just name the peptides and then it's a code. It's like, what?
I think the peptide industry booming in the past year has 100% mostly been propaganda for money, 100%, because they don't do that much, and it's annoying when the amount of times I get people in real life coming up, recognizing me and asking, so like, what peptide should I take? Or like, what do you think about peptides? I'm like, dude, they're fucking dog shit, just take tests.
So I think Big Pharma, they're banning retatrutide.
Yeah, well, they're not banning retatrutide and shit. It is a patented drug. It's not generic, so they're enforcing their patent. They are trying to ban BPC and TB500, which is fucking retarded. It's a racket. So these peptides like BPC and TB500, they work, and pretty decently well. So they don't like that there's this generic medication on the market that anybody can sell, and they're not able to sell their own medications for, you know, whatever problem somebody might have. So they're just trying to ban all of these alternatives so that they can sell more expensive treatments and medications.
From, you know, being sold. They're doing like a big cleanup on it. And so you're probably only going to be able to purchase that through a pharmacy. So that's the best peptide for fat loss.
I don't know about, I don't know what the state of things are like in the US. Connor's from Canada. I don't know if he's aware of the source that I get my shit from, but all of the gray market websites that were selling retatrutide, they're wiped out. You can't get them anymore because they've gotten cease and desist orders. The black market still has plenty. I've actually seen quite a lot of sales recently on Retta. So, and some of these other GLP-1 drugs. I can still get as much Retta as I want. You just have to get it black market, and I haven't seen price increases. In fact, I've seen some sales recently. So, yeah, you can't get Retta or any of these GLP-1s gray market anymore, but you can absolutely get them black market. Which, like, why would you care? It's the same drug.
How it feels when your mind just starts drifting as soon as someone begins explaining the rules of a simple card game.
I could never get into card games. That's a huge issue for me. Like, people start explaining the fucking rules, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
This is the lymphatic system, a vital network that maintains fluid balance within the human body, managing an estimated 3 liters of interstitial fluid per day. Unlike the cardiovascular system, the lymphatic system lacks a central pump. Instead, it relies on the contraction of skeletal muscles and the action of valves to propel lymph throughout the body. The lymphatic system comprises over 600 lymph nodes, which filter out pathogens, cellular waste, and foreign particles from the lymph fluid. By returning excess interstitial fluid to the bloodstream, approximately 2 to 3 liters daily, it prevents edema, regulates blood volume, and supports immune function.
Yes, that is true. Thanks for the donation, SV. Yeah, they're calling it GLP-3 now. It was really funny. The source that I get my stuff from, they listed it as Retta, and as soon as those lawsuits and cease and desist orders started coming out, they changed the name to GLP-3. So I think what they might be doing is they're using some sort of AI program to scrub the internet for anybody listing retatrutide. And even the black market sources are kind of getting freaked out, and they're changing the name. They're not even... What's hilarious is they post the certificate of analysis to prove that they're actually selling legit Retta. They're even blacking out the certificate of analysis and covering up the name of the drug. And again, I'm assuming it's because they're using, some AI tool to scrub the internet for all mentions of Retta.
I mean, if Retta's banned, what do you think people are going to take?
Well, if Retta's banned, you can't just go down to tirzepatide or semaglutide, aka Ozempic. There's still pretty good options. So, like, all I need is Ozempic nowadays. I have retatrutide and semaglutide. And if I need a cut, I'll just take a very low dose of semaglutide, and then boom, appetite gone, easy cut. So it's not the end of the world, but I think it's pretty fucking bullshit that you're getting such a miracle drug that could cure the obesity epidemic and obviously be extreme.
Yeah. They did it with they basically did this with the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine, where they just paid these pharmaceutical companies a ridiculous amount of money to produce the vaccine. I don't know why they can't just pay the, like, who was it who made the fucking GLP drugs? I don't know why they can't just pay these companies a huge amount of money and tell them, like, okay, just relinquish your patent right and your patent rights and make these drugs generic. I don't know why they can't fucking do that. Like, especially considering how fucking problematic the obesity epidemic is, and it is such a fucking drain on society as a whole. So not only is obesity, like, massively costing the healthcare system, it's also massively reducing productivity, period. Like, fatter, sicker people are not able to work as productively or as much, and they have to take more sick days, and they're gonna, like, cost insurance companies more money and all this shit. And it's a huge national security threat. If you ever have a big, large-scale war breakout, which these days is becoming more likely, you're gonna have a huge issue, one, with recruiting, and two, with, whatchamacall, drafts. You'll have random people called out for a draft, but because obesity is so endemic, what, at least 50% of fucking people who are called for the draft can't, because they're too fat. So the kind of money that would have to be spent to just get these pharmaceutical companies to just relinquish their patent right for these GLP-1 drugs, you'd earn that money back from just the increase in fucking productivity and, like, lower fucking medical costs of people not being fucking obese anymore.
Namely per longevity, and you're gonna fucking make that illegal? Like, they should put Reddit on the fucking water supply at this point.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think that should be good. All right, guys, this was the first chat with Androgenic.
You're banned. See you later. Oh yeah, Frank Tufano.
This classic never gets old.
Let me see.
Got some news. Tiffany's no longer my girlfriend.
Thank God, dude. That woman was the craziest person I've ever met in my life.
Oh, hold up. We're engaged now. She's my fiance. She's no longer my girlfriend. She's my fiance.
What the hell, Mike?
I am so sorry.
Pretty sure that's staged.
Woo! Oh! Who put... Woo! Oh! Who put this song on?
Yo, these guys are my favorite. You gotta put on the live version from '98. Bozo is the most overrated clown. Not having Bozo in your top 5 is insane. Oh, that is bullshit.
I matched with this mime on Tinder. I'm carrying the whole conversation.
Dude.
Well, one of us is gonna have to change. We look ridiculous.
Hey! Can you guys shut the fuck up? I'm trying to study.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure this out. Oh, yo, guys, Uber's here. Let's go.
Wasn't really funny. That's a bear. He looks like a friend. He's very friend-shaped. I like their fuzzy ears. Alright, so there is some Frank Tufano news. There's so much shit in here. Oh my fucking god. I don't know if I'm gonna have the I don't know if I'm gonna have the patience to go through all this. So this is his court filing against the USDA. Plaintiff Frank Tufano, defendant USDA. Civil appeals, other. I think that says CML rights. USDA has a pattern of discriminating against Frank Tufano as a privately owned small business. In July 2022, Frank Tufano's business was raided by the USDA, causing loss of over $100,000 in damages due to product loss, operational disruption. Frank Tufano was denied the local food promotion program grant of $750,000. Okay. This guy is strapped for cash. And I think we know why. He just spends his money like a retard. And he's just hoping to hell somebody will give him $1 million. Frank Tufano was denied a USDA loan application to acquire an existing business. Frank Tufano was denied an equipment grant value of $300,000 in August. This has to be, like, thrown out immediately. So his basis for discrimination is they won't just give him money. Frank Tufano was denied a second local food promotion grant of $750,000 in August. Like, you know exactly what he'd do with this money. He'd just use it to pay off his debt. Like, that's it. And a lot of his debt, guaranteed, isn't even related to his fucking business. Frank Tufano was denied for accepting SNAP EBT food stamps since February of 2024 for a total of $300,000 lost revenue. Wei Wei Lu, who Frank Tufano suspects is an undercover agent working in the interest of the USDA, contacted Frank Tufano as a first-time customer in October 2024 and then adulterated Frank Tufano's business products in order to file a fraudulent complaint with the USDA and attempted to damage Frank Tufano's business. So he doesn't even have any proof of this. He's just accusing them of it. USDA officials came to Frank Tufano on February 11th, attempting to gain access to his business because of a customer complaint of a mislabeled product. Okay. Jury trial demanded. Frank Tufano requests all case decisions pertaining this matter be decided by a jury. As if that would help him. First claim for relief. USDA officials conspired against Frank Tufano's online retail meat business by attempting to damage his business in unwarranted search and seizure. This was literally explained to him. USDA officials denied all of Frank Tufano's requests for grants. As far as I know, they can do that. USDA officials are conspiring with Wei Wei Lu to develop fraudulent probable cause to gain access to his business through a warrant. They didn't have a warrant. They just asked to go on his premise, and he denied. USDA has directly violated Frank Tufano's Fourth Amendment rights, prohibiting unreasonable search seizures. Oh my God. They had a warrant with the police. How is that a violation of his Fourth Amendment rights? Like, this is so fucking retarded. F donated $2. You know how people don't want to be around people who are negative all the time and sulky and always complaining? Well, I find myself thinking I don't really want to watch you much anymore because you're very often negative and complaining mood. All right, thanks for the donation, dude. The USDA to cease all unwarranted search and seizures. He's not being searched. Frank Tufano to be awarded $2.3 million in economic damages from lost revenue and grant funding. Oh my god. Why is he even doing this? Temporary restraining order to be issued against the USDA for inquiring of Frank Tufano's business activities for 45 days or in a timely manner. Oh my god. This guy is fucking unhinged. There's another one, another lawsuit that he filed from Always Forwarding. Isn't it? There we go. So this is the company that he's accusing of damaging the Wagyu meat order that he ordered from Japan. Money damages requested. Check if you have no attorney or self-represented pro se litigant.
Okay, just one drink.
Let me see. What the hell's that panda doing? Pandas may be the silliest animal. Yeah, you shouldn't be driving like that. Oh. This is a nice, handsome dog. Oh. He's rubbing his butt. He's got an itch. It's a nice dog. He's got an itch, though. So he's rubbing his butt. It's a nice dog. Thanks for the donation, SV. Frank Tufano orders shipment of the world-famous Japanese Kobe Wagyu beef. Expensive, highly perishable thing. Value $13,000 and $7,000 for shipment. Hired SPQR imports. After 2 weeks of the product supposedly being in the U.S., became extremely concerned, quickly understood situation was not being handled, and circumstances became dire immediately. Frank had to contact officials at the USDA and U.S. Customs and Border Protection to find out that an entry for the shipment had never been filed. Package was being stored in refrigerated conditions as opposed to the required frozen conditions. You know, I'm assuming Frank didn't pay like some sort of fee or something, and he thought he could get away with it. And because he didn't pay the fee, they just held the product, and then he felt entitled to not have to pay for anything, and then he just blamed them for it when it was his fault. Despite billing SPQR imports for approximately $6,700 for airport storage fees, entry fees, numerous other fees. Shipment that arrived to port on June 30th was never filed, regardless of circumstances of the product. Package could have been released for safe handling. Could have been held. Still remains. Extreme negligence by all defendant parties. Frank Tufano believes their greed for collecting airport storage fees is the main driving factor in ignoring a shipment to the point where it has perished. I don't know why he'd say this in the complaint, since it's not something he can prove. When Frank Tufano took over the situation on July 18th, after Always Forwarding had failed to do their duties, situation already seemed unrecoverable due to negligence. Contacted Always Forwarding, Eva Airways. Jury trial demanded. Claim for relief. In general, any business, even a monopolist, may choose its business partners. However, under certain circumstances, there may be limits on this freedom for a firm with market power, as courts attempt to define those limited situations. With a firm with market power may violate antitrust laws by refusing to do business with other firms. Focuses on how the refusal to deal helps the monopolist maintain its monopoly or allow them up. The fuck does it... What? All parties have refused to do business with or assist Frank Tufano in retrieving his product. Second claim for relief bans unfair methods of competition and unfair deceptive acts. The fuck does this have to do anything? Frank Tufano had paid over $7,000 for transportation custom clearance. Third claim, negligence, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just trying to get to the part where he's asking for $1 billion. He's repeating a lot of the same claims over and over again. Like, he's too stupid to do this himself. Frank Tufano requests all communications pertaining the shipment between defendants, specifically Always Forwarding and U.S. Customs, Border Protection, to determine why the package was held and what circumstances determined it was okay to damage $21,000 worth of product. Didn't he claim earlier it was like $13,000? He's changing the value of the product. There we go. Frank Tufano to be compensated the $21,000 that was spent on product plus shipment, which was no longer deemed safe to consume. Frank Tufano to be compensated $810,000 as he's no longer able to do business with the supplier or sell this product for the remaining years in business. Oh, here we go. An amount of $1,620,000 be compensated to Frank Tufano as an estimated loss of sales, assuming current business growth continues. I don't even know why he bothers, because as soon as he has to pay, what in the fuck? Frank Tufano versus OnlyFans. As soon as he has to pay court fees, he refuses to pay the court fees, and then the cases are dismissed. So this is Frank Tufano versus OnlyFans. Yeah, Isaac's making ice cream with a creamy. That's the buzzing you hear. Money, damages requested. And of course he has no attorney. Employment dispute discrimination. Yeah, my beard grows more than a few centimeters. I just trim it because if it grows too long, it gets itchy. OnlyFans is an internet content subscription service based in London, United Kingdom. Sex workers. Phoenix Internet LLC is the assumed operating something. Frank Tufano had been a commissioned employee for OnlyFans in the past. So he did OnlyFans, apparently. Received a paycheck based on sales revenue, but now faces discrimination and unfair treatment by being prohibited from using the platform. Oh. Oh my God. I wonder if that's where the PayPal money came from. So, if you look at Frank's tax filings, he took in a total gross revenue of about $5 million. And, like, there was, like, suspiciously a big chunk of that money coming from PayPal. Now, I wonder if Frank was violating the terms of service of OnlyFans by getting people to pay him money for commissioned photos or videos, by getting them to donate directly to his PayPal, which is a violation of OnlyFans terms of service. You have to get commissions paid for through the platform. That's probably why he got banned. SV donated $3. Let me see. Okay. Yes, that's how the moon works. Oh. My goodness. Those are sweet animals.
I think you could share just a little bit of blanket.
I barely have enough as it is.
This mustn't register on an emotional level. First, distract target. Then, employ full body twist. As expected, she will respond with a burrito roll. Quickly establish firm grip. Discombobulate. Dazed, the blanket will be left unprotected.
It's a good technique. Thanks for the donation, SV. Frank Tufano had several partners with which he had 2 previous accounts receiving income from OnlyFans that ended in failed business relationships, but is still intent on using the platform for himself. Okay, so maybe this had something to do... So he was either getting people to pay for commission stuff through PayPal directly, or this may have, in part, had something to do with him violating TOS due to him filming content with other people and them not having, like, an OnlyFans account, because that's another violation of TOS. February of 2023, Frank Tufano had his account terminated before he could use it for promotion of new content. So, he was doing OnlyFans up until pretty recently. To Frank Tufano's knowledge, an unknown user accessed his account and attempted to use it to promote themselves. This violated the OnlyFans terms of service, ultimately causing Frank Tufano to be permanently barred. Yeah, so that's horseshit. he's lying about this. So apparently they terminated his OnlyFans. Yeah, they probably terminated his OnlyFans because of the PayPal thing, or because he was doing content with other people and they didn't have an OnlyFans account themselves. After repeated efforts to remediate and explain the situation with OnlyFans, they refused to allow Frank Tufano to use the platform. Not being able to use the platform since February has caused Frank Tufano to face a considerable loss in potential income, as many creators around a similar social media following of millions of dollars per year. There are several other websites that allow creators post content. OnlyFans has the largest percentage. Frank Tufano believes there's a group or specific persons at OnlyFans that have a personal prejudice against him. Jury trial demanded. This is hilarious. The law forbids sexual orientation and gender identity discrimination when it comes to any aspect of employment. So he's admitting he's gay in the lawsuit. He's admitting he's gay in the lawsuit and saying that's why they terminated his account, which is fucking bizarre because plenty of gay people and trans people use fucking OnlyFans. Oh my god. The majority of OnlyFans revenue comes from its 87% male audience who's spending money to see predominantly female content creators. It can be assumed that OnlyFans does not see as much value in its male content creators because of the significant amount of revenue they bring and compared to other female content creators. If OnlyFans did not think Frank Tufano would create a considerable source of income and value to their company based on his sex, they would have no issue prohibiting. Oh my god. So, let me see. So he's probably going to ask for a ridiculous amount of money. An award of compensatory damages according to proof at trial, but in an amount no less than $30,000 per month that Frank Tufano has been unable to use the OnlyFans platform. Oh my god. At the point of this lawsuit filing, Frank Tufano has been out of work for 25 months, equating to $750,000 lost revenue. He asks for ridiculous amounts of money that make no sense. If he was making $30,000 per month, that's a ridiculously high amount of money for a male content creator, especially. But he's never advertised his OnlyFans. It's really weird that I wouldn't have heard about this. There's no fucking chance. Like, maybe, like again, the PayPal thing, it lines up with what he's claiming in the lawsuit. So maybe he was earning close to $30K a month, because I remember in his tax filing, there was like over $500,000 that came from PayPal. So maybe he was earning close to that. Oh my god. Dude, he has to be in...
Opening email.
I'll take a look at that in a second. He has to be so desperate for money. Like, he's filing all of these lawsuits asking for ridiculous amounts of money. Like a lot of them are over $1 million. And he's refusing to pay for court fees. So I think he's hoping that, like, these people will just, like, settle with him or something. But yeah, he's talking about his property being foreclosed on. He has to be really hurting for money.
I've got 3 flashlights here, a blue one, a green one, and a red one. And as you can see, when their beams all combine, you get white light. And if you take a piece of paper with a slit in it, and you block those beams, you can decompose that white light back into its constituent parts, red, green, and blue. Now this is something really cool. If you take something that casts a shadow, it's actually going to cast 3, a cyan, a magenta, and a yellow shadow. And if I allow each of those shadows to pass over the slit, you're going to see that they block out only their complementary color.
That's kind of cool.
I gotta take a risk.
Let's go. Rich, good morning.
Pomeranians are also awesome. And Chihuahua Pomeranian mixes are really, really cool. Finn, we're pretty sure, was a Pomchi. Finn was the best dog ever. Thanks for the... Is there one more? No. Thanks for the donation, SV. Let's see. Suing TikTok, Alibaba. Suing Google. Let's take a look at the Google lawsuit. Google Alphabet Inc. Slander, libel, defamation. I'm assuming this has something to do with reviews. Permanent health issues and disability as a result of the procedure performed on Dr. Taban. Oh, so this is over the reviews that he claims are fake. Oh my god. He's suing Google because he's claiming they gave fake reviews, which made him go with a plastic surgeon that botched him. And he is asking to be reimbursed $500 million. Wow. Reimbursed for the permanent damage caused to his vision, physical appearance, and business. The amount is estimated to be $484,396,666. I don't know how he came to that weirdly specific number. What a fucktard. Suing Reddit for something. Fuck knows what that's for. Fidelity, which is the bank. This one should be interesting. Plaintiff has filed a second vexatious and frivolous complaint against defendant Tufano, incorrectly named 2 entities that should not be involved in legal action. Failing to submit a counterclaim in the first relevant action filed against Fidelity Bank. All of Frank Tufano's businesses have operated under sole proprietorship. All payments of the property that is being held under the holding company, Free Range Meat, LLC, were made by Frank Tufano, Free Range Meat LLC being the holding company for all perishable food assets. Frank Tufano's business does not operate under FRM LLC or Free Range Meat LLC as they are holding companies. Therefore, there is no course. So he's lying. He's lying to the court. So he refused to either pay. He either refused to pay his mortgage bill, or what he claimed in a video he made, he refused to pay for flood insurance or some type of insurance for the property, and they're just canceling the mortgage on him because of that. And again, if he guaranteed filed the mortgage under one of his LLCs, and now he's claiming, oh, the LLC is like a holding company, whatever the fuck that means. They're supposed to file the lawsuit against me. Like, it's retarded. So he's tried this before. So he's trying to delay them suing him or something, or getting this action against him by saying they filed the wrong paperwork, which is just obviously retarded. Plaintiff stole $230,000 and applied it to the mortgage payment without Frank Tufano's permission. He literally admitted he gave them the money and is now demanding the remaining balance be paid, the amount that is in dispute in the other lawsuit. Frank Tufano has withheld any and all payments to Fidelity Bank until the legal matters are settled. Fidelity Bank has wrongfully stolen Frank Tufano's money. He literally admitted to giving them the money. Frank Tufano entered a contract with Fidelity Bank for the purchase of property. SV $93, let me see. That's a nice cat.
The thing is that we know that we're being funny, but you can't let the audience know for 1 second that you're trying to be funny. Not for 1 second. Although I will do almost anything I can for a laugh. The thing is that we know that.
Very well timed.
Can I at least get a little bit of butter? Can you melt some butter for me?
No.
Maybe some salt and pepper?
No.
That salt and pepper wasn't all that good. What about some scissors? Scissors, I could cut it open easier.
You too annoying. Can you shut up?
Ê, cái sờ ăn đi Tuấn. Con gái con đứa, ăn nói vậy. Bởi trong nhà trong cửa không có chuyện sao được. Cứ ăn nói vậy hoài. Rồi nhụm nhịn chút đi.
Like that?
We did a video, Mom.
Cancel talk.
Maybe that's the secret. You need to date an Asian. Thanks for the donation, SV. Contract required the property to have an active flood insurance policy costing approximately $14,000 per year. Because of this substantial amount, Frank Tufano decided to pay off the remaining mortgage balance to avoid having to pay the flood insurance for the year. That makes no sense. So he's lying about this. Frank thought he could get away with not paying for the flood insurance. And it turns out he can't, and now he's making up some stupid excuse. Frank Tufano sent 2 payments of $115,000, totaling $230,000 to Fidelity Bank. So he's admitting he sent the money and they didn't steal it. After sending payments to close the mortgage, Fidelity Bank claimed that Frank Tufano had to pay a pro-rated flood insurance rate for the first 3 months of 2025. There was never any contractual agreement or documentation on what the $230,000 was to be applied to. Like, what? So he's saying he just sent them the money. Okay. Not knowing if that goes to the mortgage or not, sure. So Frank Tufano requested that the money be returned and that they resume the mortgage payments as he did not want to pay the flood insurance. The fuck is he talking about? Like, this is just insane nonsense. Sole intention of Frank Tufano paying off the bank loan was to avoid the flood insurance costs. I'm assuming he didn't pay off the bank loan because he said that he still has to pay the mortgage. He said this didn't even cover the mortgage cost. Fidelity Bank had the flood insurance requirement as a contractual obligation for the mortgage, but is not required to pay off the mortgage and close the balance. Fidelity Bank refused to refund Frank Tufano's monies and is now... So he's lying. He said he didn't even pay off the mortgage. That didn't even cover the lien. Fidelity Bank resumes Frank Tufano's money, or returns Frank Tufano's monies as there was no contractual agreement to what the money was to be applied to. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? It obviously goes to the mortgage. Exhibit B. Notice to defend. You're being sued in court if you wish to defend against the claims set forth in the following pages. You must take action served. Blah, blah, blah. And this is just the other legal action.
Hey man, can you please listen to the first minute or so? I wanted to hear your takes on Destiny's arguments here on why he's against the Venezuela situation.
Deposing Maduro as a leader was not good because the president was acting unilaterally with unclear motivation, and the effects of that are...
He obviously wasn't acting unilaterally, and the motivations are not unclear at all.
The United States becomes less predictable, we destabilize the world order.
Destabilize the world order. Maduro was not legally elected. He stole the election. That's been mathematically proven. Over 50 countries, including those in the European Union, refused to recognize his presidency as legitimate. He is a member of the Venezuelan drug cartel. He has absolutely ruined Venezuela, and like the amount of shit he's done is just fucking crazy. He's mass murdered and politically persecuted a lot of Venezuelans. That's why there was that mass exodus out of Venezuela, where about 20% of the fucking country fled. He's also helped to support various criminal organizations and prop them up and make them more powerful and not arrest or jail them so that he can pay them off so that they will basically attack protesters. And that gives him the ability to have plausible deniability so that when protests are squashed because gang members are attacking the protesters, he can say, oh, well, I had nothing to do with that. That was just street gangs doing that. It's not like I was using the police force to, quash protests. Like, this guy's a fucking scumbag. He was also helping train terrorists, including Hezbollah. That's why there's a big influx of Muslims into the fucking country. They're helping train terrorists. They're also getting weapons from China, including medium-range missile systems, which could be used to attack the United States. And this is also like a huge national security threat for that obvious reason. China could just directly strike the United States. And they could also shut down the Panama Canal. So if China were to go to war with the U.S., that would be a huge fucking issue, blocking international trade routes. So, what the fuck is he talking about?
Who cares? There's a dictator who was running the country, sending drugs here, and now he just took over.
Should we take over every country that has somebody running the country who's a dictator?
They're killing Americans, yeah.
So he's debating a retard.
How many Americans has Maduro killed?
It's untraceable because it's so high. I would say in the millions.
Okay, so you agree then that basically the American democratic experiment is over then, right? Like whatever comes next is going to be another country leading, China or somebody else, and then America is basically on its way out then?
No, I'm saying that America as like its system.
The path that you're on, the path that you're saying that we're on right now, the path that you're saying that we're on right now is not sustainable.
Yeah, so Destiny doesn't know what he's talking about. I think it's he just has a bias against Trump, and he just can't admit when Trump does something that makes sense. Thanks for the donation, though, Tool. Frank's suing United Healthcare. I'm assuming this has something to do with his plastic surgery.
A woman feeds a squirrel. One day the squirrel thanked her with a cookie.
Wow. Oh, that's nice. What a nice squirrel. I love squirrels. That looks silly. No. Those are nice shrimp. Those are good shrimp. Thanks for the donation, SV. Frank Tufano versus United Healthcare. Frank Tufano received a medically necessary orbital reconstruction. Yeah, it was not medically necessary. Oh my god. Despite him having an active policy with United Healthcare, they refused to compensate him. Sole purpose of Frank Tufano using United Healthcare, cover specific out-of-state medical service. Oh my god. Jury trial. Yeah, here we go. So this is over the plastic surgery. Oh my god. He's asking for $41,286,036. Oh wait, sorry. No, 41. I thought that was a comma. $41,286 for his medical bills. So I'm assuming. So was this the original fucking surgery that he had? May 8th, 2025. Oh wait, that's the Japan thing, right? No. He went to Japan recently, didn't he? Like just a few weeks ago? I'm not sure what surgery. He had a bunch of surgeries. Maybe this was the one that he had in the States. It's obvious why they wouldn't cover. Fucking idiot. Frank Tufano versus Motor World. I think this has to do with his used Lexus that he apparently couldn't afford and then he tried to return. Frank Tufano purchased a vehicle from Motor World pre-owned upon driving the car. Nauseous, sick, yeah, whatever. So they're forcing him to pay the lien. By reason of the acts and circumstance alleges, seeks relief. Motor World void all contracts and loans. Motor World return the entire monies, $34,950 to Frank Tufano, maintain possession of the defective vehicle. So Frank bought a car that he couldn't afford, and I don't even understand this. He bought the vehicle on a lien. So he didn't pay $34,950 for the vehicle. He bought it on a lien, so he was supposed to make monthly payments. And I think he realized he couldn't afford the monthly payments, then he tried to return it, and they refused to accept the return. And they told him, you either have to pay the balance, make the monthly payments, or default on the loan, and he doesn't want to default on the loan. So he's looking to get more lines of credit or something. Fucking idiot. Well, that's pretty much all the Frank Tufano lawsuits. Skipped over some of them because they didn't look interesting, but Frank's a fucking retard. SV donated $3. Let me see. She's like a chicken. Yeah, it looks weird. She's like a chicken. Yeah, she's not that attractive. The fuck? That's really weird. Ants are gross. I really don't like ants. Thanks for the donation, SV. Wow.
Started 400 milligrams test 35 days ago. Just bought a dildo and rode it and never felt so good. I also bought some skirts and stockings. This is not what was supposed to happen.
Don't know if you're on test. It's kind of an unusual side effect. Thanks for the donation, Ken. That's a nice kitty. Congratulations, you're banned. Wow. That's a really nice rat. I love rats. Rats are so nice. That's a really good rat. That is such a good rat. Oh my goodness, what a nice friendly rat. Oh. Rats are so good. It's kind of sad. They don't really live very long. They only live like 2 years. I had a rat named Dexter that lived, I think, almost 4 years. Some young girl bought him, and she also had 2 other rats, and she couldn't take care of them anymore, and we adopted those rats from her, and we gave 2 of the rats to a friend of ours, and Dexter outlived the 2 younger rats. Dexter was already like a year and a half, and the other rats were only a few months old. And he actually outlived the younger rats. He lived a really unusually long time for a rat. So he had a nice little rat life. We gave him the highest quality rat pellets we could. And for a treat, sometimes we gave him Oreo wafers. He really liked the Oreo wafers.
Fake and gay.
Let me see, SB.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
In the 1990s, mankind discovered that we could turn the year into glasses, changing New Year's Eve parties forever. But in 2010, we hit a wall.
Nobody knew what to do with the wand. Nobody. Do you go around it? Do you go through it? I mean, it was a nightmare.
That's why we brought in Walter Schmidt.
Well, Walter was a big shot in the novelty glasses world. I mean, straw glasses, googly eye glasses, the one with the mustache. He was responsible for all of that.
We had to convince him, because if it was up to him, we'd be waiting until 2040.
Because that's the next year. That would make sense. You see, only the 0, 4, 6, 8, and 9 really lend themselves to glasses, giving us 5 usable decades per century and 5 usable centuries per millennium. That's 250 optimal New Year's glasses per 1,000 years.
This is the story of the heroes and the living legend who give us new glasses every year.
Teenage wedding and the old folks wish.
Wow. Birds are silly. I like silly birds.
I'm HR Dean, baby no, wappy dobby doo, wappy dobby doo, oh baby, witty wapple witty wow, wapple witty wow, I'm HR Dean, wappy dobby doo, wappy dobby doo, oh baby, witty wapple witty wow, wapple witty wow, I'm about a spooky bop bop bite witty bop, bop bop on the ass, spooky bop bop bite witty bop, bop bop on, oh I'm about a spooky bop bop bite witty bop, bop bop on the ass, spooky bop bop bite witty bop. I'm HR.
That was good. Thanks for the donation, SV. Is that the say please guy? No, damn it. Just a retard. Oh.
Us in another universe, love Dodo.
Let me take a look.
There is no right way, so I fall in love.
Hmm. Hmm. Those are some nice parrots. Turkeys. Ducks. Rats. Squirrels. I love squirrels. Uh... Uh... Uh, I'm so tired. I love playing. I'm just so tired. Man. Maybe Clavicular was right about crystal meth. Crystal meth might be based.
Wow, pop pop boob boo beach be etib pop boob boo be tip boo boo bick night by nil wow e behold our beholder tibbo any bab pop pop poop boo by tibby etib pop poop poop pull hoda dibbo any bab pop pop poo poo beach be etib pop po.
That's very good. Very good. Thanks for the donation, SV. Oh, my energy levels are pretty much back to normal. It's just I had a really hard leg workout. And I'm tired after that. I'm also not eating much. My appetite is like near zero. So that might also be contributing to it, but yeah, after that workout, I'm just zonked. I think tomorrow I might just do a gaming stream, because I do want to play games on stream. I don't have to train tomorrow, so maybe I'll have enough energy, but... Oh, dude. I have a nice soft kitty here. This kitty is so nice and soft. I love how fuzzy kitties are. They're just so good. Gummy's a sweet little baby. What a good boy. I love him so much. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to bed now. I just...
Us in another universe, love random.
Oh, penguins. I love penguins. Pigeons. Pigeon sex is weird. Otters. Seahorses are really weird. Thanks for the donation, Random. Okay, I'm gonna go to bed. I might just do a gaming stream tomorrow. I definitely want to play games. But big thanks to everybody who donated on Streamlabs. Really appreciate it. Hope you all had fun. See you all tomorrow, and sweet dreams.